Ulstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Tonight from Farmers Union Insurance Field at Tharaldson Sporting Complex on the campus of Central Cass Public Schools, it's North Dakota Division AA football as the third-ranked Central Cass Squirrels host the Devils Lake Firebirds. A pleasant Good Friday evening. I'm Chase Miller alongside Jacob Anderson, and welcome to our pregame show. Central Cass opened the year with a 41-14 win against Wofford City in Castleton last week. Quarterback Brody Kegley threw for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns, while running back Colton Cruchet tallied 119 yards of total offense while rushing for 2 scores and having 1 receiving touchdown against the Wolves. For Devils Lake, they traveled to West Fargo Horace and lost 42-12 against the second-ranked Kindred Vikings. Senior quarterback Mason Palmer threw for 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick, while Briar Exner rushed for 94 yards on the ground in a loss for the Firebirds. Last season, Central Cass won a nail-biter here against Devils Lake, 34-27. Still to come on our pregame show, we'll get to our starting lineups, hear from the coaches, but when we return, we'll take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard, the latest AA football poll, that and more in the state of North Dakota. It's the Squirrels and the Firebirds for Friday Night Lights in September on yourliveevent.com. Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting section, and check out their different paint mixing options from Benjamin Moore, Clark and Kensington, and Royal. From their grills to Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to the Customer Laser Engraving Center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
If you're ready to save time, aggravation, and money, the team at Weber Insurance is here and ready to make the process as painless as possible. Weber Insurance makes sure you find the best insurance because their agency is 100% independent. They have the freedom to shop the marketplace and find the best possible combination of cost and coverage. Talk with Dan, Carol, Leslie, or Craig to get a quote started today, or go online to weberinsurance.net. Call, click, text, or stop in at Weber Insurance, locally owned in Castleton.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good!
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com. As we continue on our pregame show here today, taking a look in live at West Fargo Horace, as West Fargo Horace is hosting the Kindred Vikings. That's 3A versus 2A. A lot of scoring early in the first quarter. Kindred 13, West Fargo Horace 7. Dan Gunderson on the call for you on that one on yourliveevent.com at Horace. Also tonight for your out-of-town scoreboard, Minot North visits Fargo South. You have Red River in Bismarck against the Saints of St. Mary's. Wahpeton makes the trek across I-29 and across Highway 2 to Watford City. Grand Forks Central goes to the Buffalo City and has a date with the Blue Jays. And Dickinson at Williston here later tonight across 2A football. Williston in 3A. Latest 2A football polls in the state of North Dakota. Minot North, the number 1 rated team in the state, receiving 17 of the 19 first-place votes. Kindred number 2, followed by Central Cass number 3, Grand Forks Central number 4, and Red River at number 5. Receiving votes of Jamestown South and Bismarck St. Mary's. That's a look at your out-of-town scoreboard and also a look at your AA football poll here in the state of North Dakota. Still to come later tonight on yourliveevent.com, we'll have Lisbon at Northern Cass. Tournament makes their way to Thompson, Polk County West at Ada Borup West. That and more tonight also on yourliveevent.com. The Central Cass Squirrels, game number 1, with their victory over Watford City, 376 yards of total offense with 223 yards coming through the air. Head coach is Tommy Butler in his 7th season, while for the Devils Lake Firebirds in his 15th year at the program, 6 as a head coach is Tom Lambrick. Here for the Firebirds, they lost to Kindred 42-12. Devils Lake with 275 yards of offense with 131 coming on the ground. We'll take a quick break. When we continue after this, we'll get to our coaches' conversation next. We'll hear from Coach Lambrick. Then we'll hear from Tommy Butler, head of our starting lineups and the opening kick tonight here for 2A football at Central Casting Devils Lake on your live event.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. How did your planting season go this year? Are you looking to make improvements for next year instead of breaking the bank on a whole new planter? Get the best price of the year on upgrades for your planter from Agassiz Precision Ag this summer. Get $50 back per row per product for some of our best-selling solutions. Make the precision decision for your planter this summer. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com for more information.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
No job too big, no call too small. Bears Home Solutions handles it all. You need a bear in there, oh yeah. Keeping homes just right with expert care. Let our stars guide you when repairs scare. You need a bear in there.
Check out bearshomesolutions.com.
As we continue here on our pregame show, as always, time to get to our coaches' conversation here on yourliveevent.com as Devils Lake Firebirds make their way back to the Cass County region here for another Friday night football game to open up the season, this time going up against the Central Cass Squirrels. Joining us here from the Firebirds' perspective is their head coach, that's Todd Lambrick here. And Todd, before we talk about last year's matchup on this very field in Castleton, let's just recap week number 1. Win, lose, or draw, the first month of the season are non-region games. They're not the games that are going to make you make the playoffs or not, but what's the one thing from week 1 to week 2 that you want to see from your team in terms of growth and maturation here in 2025, Todd?
You know, just us playing our positions better and knowing what to do. We had a lot of internal mental mistakes go on and just not playing up to our potential, and seeing that growth from last week to this week, that's our biggest priority right now. And hopefully they do what they're asked to do and do what they're expected to do. You know, being high school kids, it's kind of a juggling act sometimes, but, you know, our expectations are to do our jobs, and we didn't quite do them that first week, you know, and Kindred was a great, solid team. They outplayed us, outsped us. They did everything right, and we did a lot of things little things that we'd been practicing that apparently we had forgotten. So we really hit those again this week at more of a full speed, a faster pace. So hopefully we see those changes in this game.
When you look at Castleton, how much can you take away from last year's game that went right down to the wire? There were some big plays from both teams. I know you were trailing early in that game, really never played with a lead throughout the majority of it, Todd, but can you take anything away from last year's film, so to speak, to this year's version of the game coming up?
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at it and you say, okay, these guys did this against us, and we have to, you know, be leery of this and make our guys aware, and we practice against it. And, you know, I guess overall, just, you know, going out and doing what we do, because it's each year, every team's different, and we have a different team this year, and we got to find our identity a bit more and a little bit better. So we look at both aspects of who they played last week and what they did against us last year, and we kind of mix and match them and really try and get our guys in the best position so they can be successful.
Is there anything in particular about a Coach Butler team that you went up against them last year and this year that stood out to you, whether it was last year on the sidelines or just seeing what they've done through one game so far this season that'll be a challenge coming up here later tonight?
You know, they adapt really well. They got they got good players, and they get them in the right spots, and they do things very technically well. And they're always after you, always, you know, getting after you. So we got to step up up to that scenario. And that's always our challenge when it comes to playing Central Cass, is that it's not just a chess game. It's getting up to their potential and what they put out and trying to exceed and step above that. So they're always playing at a high pace, and we need to play at that pace also.
The one thing, Tom, that's a little bit different from a Devil's Lake point of view, you've been used to the East, but with Castleton and Central Cass and Kindred moving up, you guys have been moving your way out to the West. So you've seen some of the teams that you'll play as region foes in prior years. But what's the biggest thing, if you have talked to your team about, moving your way to the West this season compared to playing in the East? Biggest thing is what, Todd, from your perspective?
No, we play one more game out West. We played them before, and we just take it to that aspect. I guess we try not to look at every game as a conference, non-conference game. We look at it at that individual game at that time, and that's who we have to play. Nothing else matters that week, and nothing else is going to matter. So we can't look ahead saying, okay, we have the West yet, or we have non-conference or conference games. We just look at it trying to go and play our best, and work real hard. And if things go well, we win the game. And that's how we have to approach every game. The West is solid. They're good quality teams, great coach teams out there. So we just got to take it one game at a time, conference or non-conference, just play it as a game. And that's how we approach it.
I know Mason Palmer will get a lot of accolades, and rightfully so, with the kind of playmaker he can be. But as you know, Todd, there's 11 guys on defense, 11 guys on offense at the end of the day, too, that need to do their job to move the ball down the field or make some stops. So let's talk about maybe some of the glue guys for the Firebirds here this season. Let's start with Briar Exner. Just what do you want to see from him on and off the football field as this season continues here in the month of September, as you turn it over to October, about 4 weeks from now?
Him having success running the ball, and he's a physical, big runner. I'd like to see him run faster and harder. We know he can bring it to people. We know he can lower his shoulder and run people over, but really, really want to see him get in that fifth gear and start running the ball harder and faster and faster and faster. That's really important for us. And it just makes our offense flow much better when he gets those yards and gets that run game going.
Similar question with Will Heilman. I know just seeing him a little bit at the State Legion baseball tournament, an athlete in his own right, but what can he do on the football field to be an impactful player this season?
He showed it against Kindred. I mean, he's a good receiver, catches the ball well, gets himself open. Really solid defensive player for us too. He's multi-talented. We use him a lot of different spots at running back, wide receiver, corner. Plays a little safety. He moves around and he does really well with it.
And then last on the players, Weston Nelson, how can he be an impactful player for the Firebirds this season here, Todd?
Just working on really hard at getting himself open and catching that ball when it gets to him. And it's secondary wise, he's a safety for us, and he really leads those guys and lets them know where they need to be at. And he does a great job of that. He's that glue, kind of like that captain of a defensive secondary. And he understands what he's supposed to do, and he gets guys in good positions, and he plays hard all the time. And that's one thing I love about him, whether he's running routes or guarding somebody or staying in the zoned area. He does it well, and he does it with high intensity. And that's one thing I love about him.
Todd, last question for me before we let you go. Whether it's week number 2 or a month and a half from now, as you're gearing for a potential postseason run, what do you hope that people take away from watching Devils Lake Firebirds as fans? Whether they're watching the game, listening to the game, coming to the games in person, what do you hope that folks take away? What's a trait, so to speak, that you want them to see, on Friday nights on the football field?
That's a great question. I just hope they see us play with high intensity. Playing the game right and just flying around and having fun. That's what I tell the guys all the time. I guess if people see us play with a punishment attitude and just flying around having some fun.
Hey, Todd, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck here tonight against the Squirrels and throughout the rest of the course of the season.
Thank you very much.
And again, Todd Lambrick, head coach of the Devils Lake Firebirds, will continue on our pregame show after this from Castleton. At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471. Since its beginning, the Central Cast Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cast High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cast Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcastboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcastboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels! As we continue on the pregame show here today from Castleton, inching closer to game number 2 for the Central Cast Squirrels and the Devils Lake Firebirds here on the season. Joining us from the head coach's perspective from Central Cast is Tommy Butler. And Tommy, a nice win against Watford City. What do you hope to carry over into that game against a team and an opponent that went right down to the wire in Castleton, with Devils Lake a year ago here with the Firebirds?
Yeah, I think for us, it's continuously stopping the run. I think last week, I think we only gave up about 50 yards rushing, or even less than that. So defensively, it's continuously stopping the run. But the bigger thing against Devils Lake is their quarterback, Mason Palmer, is a absolute jock. So you have to keep him contained. He's really, really good on third down. Last year, they killed us on third down. It didn't matter if it was 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 20. That guy was always seeming to get the yards needed. So if we can limit their run game, make them one-dimensional, but then, we're going to try to flood some zones with our coverage, but also we got to try to speed them up with some blitzes. And when we get there, we have to get him on the ground. I think last year we got to him, we just couldn't get him down, and he's really good. So we know that he's going to bust things. We know that he'll make you pay, but what you can't do is you can't give up big home runs. So for us, that's what we're trying to do defensively, and then offensively, they're a humongous team. I think they average it's like 270 or 280 up front. So they're a huge team, but we got to win one-on-one matchups with our skill position guys, and then when we get to our run game stuff, it's can we hit a couple explosive plays in there? Last year, I think we only ran the ball about 10 times. This year, I think our run game is better. I think it's more dynamic than what it was last year. So, we're not going to be just straight one-dimensional, but, we'll make sure that, if the math isn't math and inside, we're going to get that ball out wide and get our skill guys the ball, because I think we're pretty talented out wide.
Let's talk about your defense from week number 1 that has to go up against maybe a different style of quarterback that you always don't get to see. Some of the players to bring up, Evan Wiersma, we'll just start with him. What did you see from week 1 and just the defense in week 1 at Tommy against the Wolves?
I mean, you saw a college football player, I mean, he's a Division II guy going to Morehead State, and they're getting a good one, and he played like it. He played like he was the best guy out there on the field, especially defensively. I mean, his ability to lock out offensive linemen, take on double teams, throw guys to the ground. I mean, there was one time he's getting blocked. You see him reach around the guy that's blocking him, grab their running back with one hand, and then pull him backwards to the ground with one hand while getting blocked. He looked like a different human out there. So, that's the guy that we think he's going to be, and that's the way that he played. So, to me, he's doing everything that we thought he could be and more. So his just presence out there, I think, gives us a calming sense that we know that he's one of the best, if not the best player defensively on the field. Doesn't matter who we're going against. And now he's playing with supreme confidence, and that's that's a scary dude to go against.
The one thing, too, that you like to do, you like to obviously have starters, but you like to rotate players at different times throughout the course of a game, try to keep them a little bit fresh. And guys on the defensive end spot with Travion Quam and Hunter Rohr, what did you kind of see from that position group, but from those two in particular in the opener against Watford City?
Yeah, I mean, Trevin's been this will be his third year starting for us. He's really, really physical, but now he's coming into his own where it's not just, run and bash your face into things. Now it's playing with some savviness, understanding what teams are trying to do, but then understanding what we're trying to do and how do those two things marry and fit together. So, he's really taken a huge step that way as far as, again, not just being just a physical freak, but now he's using that physicality as well as his athletic ability, but now he's tying his mind into it. And now I think that's what's making him, I think he had 7 or 8 tackles for us. And then Hunter Rohr, same kind of deal. Like Hunter is really, really, really physical. He kind of comes from that line of the Ryan Staffords that we had in the past on our state finalist team that plays interior but is freaky explosive. He's one of our faster guys, weighs 215, 220 pounds, benches over 330, I think. Like he's just physically imposing, but now is starting to play with more technique. It's not just run around with your head cut off and can't make a play unless the play runs into you. Now he's actually starting to play with his hands. He's starting to understand, again, what are we trying to ask of you to do? But now can you play beyond the scheme? And I think that's what makes him, and I think that's why he made so many plays on Friday night was, we asked him not to run up the field, play laterally on the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what he did. In years past, he had a really hard time with that just because of his explosive nature. He would run up the field, run by balls, where now he's not doing that. And he's able to take on double teams like Evan does, but also he's able to split double teams with his physicality and also with just his pure get off.
Final thing for me, Tommy, before I let you go, we've heard this a lot in football, week 1 to week 2. No matter what the result is in week 1, you want to grow to week 2 and keep building on that throughout the season. So biggest thing from a Squirrel perspective is what from week 1 to week 2 here in the 2025 season?
Well, defensively, the bigger thing is we now got to go play base defense now. Watford City makes you play their defense it's completely different than what we'll play. So for me, it's now we get to see what does our base D really look like? What types of players are we? We had a few, like I said, we had a few guys that were playing out of position before. Now, when we go to play, like, okay, how does that marry? Again, you're playing a freak at quarterback. So, it's not just downhill run, who's more physical. Now you got to play with a little bit more savvy. You're potentially trying to bait that quarterback into stuff, but also if you bait him and you ain't ready, he'll absolutely tear you apart. So defensively, that's the thing I want to see is really this is like our week 1 for our defense. But then offensively, it's making sure that we're getting to the right positions. We play with a ton of tempo. Everybody knows that. But when you play with tempo, how do you make sure that, you're not getting out of control, that you know where you're going to? So that to me is kind of our big thing offensively is just making sure we're getting to our alignment assignment stuff correctly. But what I really liked from our team last week was just the effort that those guys played with. We consistently, again, had our receivers blocking. We consistently were getting extra chunk yards because of effort. So continuously building on that, but now trying to erase some of those mental mistakes of alignment assignment. And then, again, for us coaches, how do we make sure that we're preparing them for that? How do we move from week 1 to week 2 is what we need to be doing and making sure that we're helping our kids as best that we can.
Hey, Tommy, as always, appreciate the time. Best of luck here tonight and throughout the rest of the season coming up.
I appreciate it. Go Squirrels.
And again, Tommy Butler on our pregame show will continue with more after this here in Castleton.
At the Central Cass School District, excellence isn't just a goal. It's our mission by empowering individuals to make a positive impact. Central Cass School District is dedicated to providing students with an innovative curriculum supported by a variety of co-curricular activities from athletics and the arts to leadership and service, aiming to provide excellence between students, staff, family, and community. Central Cass School District, fostering student excellence by inspiring individuals to be their best.
growers. Prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe Toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or Taupe Insurance,
maybe? I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's Taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
As we continue on our pregame show here today from Castleton, this is AA football here on yourliveevent.com. Chase Miller alongside Jacob Anderson with you here in Castleton as the Squirrels have taken the field here from the north side here tonight. Currently, it is a nice, pleasant evening. Has that feel of fall in the air from what we saw a week ago, where temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s will be right around that 60-degree area today. A wind blowing in a little bit from the north here in Castleton. So if you're kicking towards the left side of your screen, could be a little bit of a problem, especially with a high draw of a kick. But if it's a line drive, shouldn't have too much to worry about from that perspective. The Central Cass Squirrels 1-0 on the season in the East in 2A, while Devils Lake 0-1 on the year as they are in the West of 2A here this season. Taking a look at what happened a year ago, went right down the wire. Central Cass hung on for a 34-27 win here in Castleton. They won 2 straight in the series. Last time that Devils Lake has won was back in 2019. Now, these teams were not in the same class or division of football, so they have not played every consecutive season here. As Devils Lake Firebirds will be introduced in a moment, and they will be coming out as a team here for Devils Lake, as they're wanting to come out as a complete team here again for the Firebirds. Winning the coin toss, the Central Cass Squirrels, they elected to receive, so we will see the Squirrels offense here tonight to start things off for the Firebirds. They will be playing defensively to open it off here in this contest. Make sure you stay tuned throughout the course of our game as we will get to our post-game show. Take a look at some of the first half numbers, your out-of-town scoreboard, that and more. West Fargo, Horace, and Kindred just about to get to the half. We'll keep you comprised of what that one is doing, and also Minot North at South and a host of other games as well. So let's get to the starting lineups here for both of these teams as the Devils Lake Firebirds again coming out as a team. For the Central Cass Squirrels, they'll roll like this, and when it comes up front, the left tackle is Evan Wiersma at 6'3" at 290, a MSUM football commit. From there, Ben Nelson, the sophomore at 6 foot even 210 pounds. Jennings Cooney the 5'9", 240-pound center, the senior Cooney again at center. Right guard of Trevin Quam, the 6'2" senior at 190, and Aiden Wunderlich, the UND football commit, a 6'6" senior at 280 pounds. Again, Wiersma, Nelson, Cooney, Quam, and Wunderlich here for the Central Cass Squirrels. For the wide receivers, you got Parker Wixo, a junior. From there, Easton Holland, a 6'4" junior. Another wide receiver, Jackson Haug, a 6'1" sophomore, and Blaze Cotton, another sophomore at 6'1". Colton Cruchet, the senior tailback, committed to Montana Tech to play collegiately, and Brody Kegley is the junior quarterback. That's your starting lineups again for head coach Tommy Butler and the Central Cass Squirrels. Well, for the Devils Lake Firebirds, they'll be running a 3-4 defense here today. Defensive tackle of Briar Alberts, nose guard of Jeff Summer, and defensive end of Grady Quam. Summer, Quam, and Alberts here for the Firebirds. Outside linebackers of Luke Wasness and Jackson Strong. Interior linebackers of Cade Fee and Briar Exner. Corner of Will Heilman and Kobe Levitt, here for the Firebirds. Weston Nelson, a free safety, and Easton Encinas, the strong safety here today. Jordan Levitt again at cornerback here for the Devils Lake Firebirds. That is our starting lineups here in this one. When we come back, we'll get to the opening kickoff between the Squirrels and the Firebirds on your liveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Chase Miller with you here today in Castleton. Jacob Anderson, our puppet master behind the scenes. We're in the camera for you. A gorgeous day for some high school football. You know what would be better? A campfire with some s'mores afterwards to really make it feel like a fall kind of a day here in this one. The Devils Lake Firebirds will be on the defensive side to begin things off as Central Cass won the toss and elected to receive. The Squirrels in their win against Watford City, 376 yards of total offense, 142 coming on the ground and 223 coming through the air. While for the Devils Lake Firebirds against Kindred, they gave up 42 points, 443 yards of offense with 273 coming on the ground for Devils Lake. So we'll see what these two teams can do in terms of improvement from week 1 to week 2 defensively and offensively here in this one. For the Devils Lake Firebirds, they will put the ball on the tee as it'll be Briar Exner. He will handle the kickoffs. Exner handling the kickoffs, and Mason Palmer will be the field goal kicker here tonight for Devils Lake. The right-footed kick is underway. It's 7:01 on a Friday night, and AA football is in the air. Returned at the 18-yard line by Cruchet, and he makes his way to about the 28 for a 10-yard return, and that's where the Squirrels will open things off. So for the Squirrels, they will begin with the football here at their own 28-yard line. As they will come out with Colton Cruchet, the senior, at 185 pounds, 11 carries for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns in their win against Watford City last week here in Castleton. After tonight, the Squirrels will head to the road to Jamestown on the 12th, while for the Devils Lake Firebirds, they will have their home opener next Friday, hosting the Huskies of Wahpeton. 3-4 defense here for the Firebirds. They're bringing some pressure up front as the Squirrels will shift into a pistol formation. Here's Kegley. Kegley with a little pitch play to the boundary as Cruchet's going to get walled up, and he's taken down for a loss. A couple of Firebirds will come in on the tackle. Exner was there part of the party. Alongside with him, it looked to be Mr. Cade Fee to disrupt things up. A handful of tackles for the Firebirds, and that'll be about a 2nd and 14 upcoming here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Quickly, Sugar No Huddle here for Kegley. Twins left and the right. Kegley stop, pop, makes a nice pass to the outside. Cotton with the reception at the 30-yard line. Blaze gets his, Easton Holland, with the catch. That'll be his second one of the season. And they get to about the 30 for a gain of 8 yards. So 3rd down, 2nd and 14 to 3rd and 6. Quickly. This one will be to Cruchet. He's got a little bit of a boundary here. Needs the 36. Makes a man miss. Exner will bring him down, and that'll be at the 37 for a gain of 7 yards and a 1st down. Good patient 1st down run there by Cruchet. He got the edge by Evan Wiersma to open up the boundary, and then from there able to get the sticks. 1st and 10 upcoming here for Central Cass. Trips to the right, one to the near sideline here. Kegley. Little play action, throws a bubble screen to the outside, and this one goes for about 2 yards as Blaze Cotton is there. As it'll be about a 2-yard gain on the play for the Central Cass Squirrels. This is a team for Tommy Butler that has done very similar style of offense where they want to get up and go early here with some tempo throughout the course of the game on our Bank North scoreboard. 90 seconds in first possession of the contest. Little swing pass near sideline to the boundaries. Cruchet to the 45, and he's going to get taken down on the play by Fee. That'll be a gain of a 1st down. They'll give him 8 yards. So 3 completions for Kegley, to Holland, Cotton, and Crochet so far. 3 different completions to 3 different players, and they're stretching this Firebird defense. They're getting a little closer to the line. Pitch play, Crochet, and Crochet's going to get wrapped up for a tackle for a loss a second time today. The outside linebacker, Luke Wasness, in on the tackle. He set the perimeter, and it'll be a loss of 2. Well, they ran the pitch play twice, and both times the Firebirds have been ready for it on the boundary. Good job by the outside linebacker there, setting the perimeter. Makes it now 2nd and 12. Squirrels need the Devils Lake 43-yard line for the first. As Kegley motion man as goes Cotton left to right across the formation. Kegley, 3-step drop, has time, now steps up in the pocket, looking, fires. This one will be completed on the near sideline at the 50-yard line and staying in bounds. Here goes Parker Wixow to the 30, to the 25-20. Oh, how do you do, Parker, for a gain of 35 yards. Well, looked to be dead in the rights on a play. Parker Wixow made not one but 2-man miss, and he gets a 35-yard reception, and the Squirrels are in the red zone here, knocking on the door. 9:30 here in the first quarter, and we'll have a first penalty of the game. Wasness will come in unevaded, and it'll be on the defense for the first of the contest. So far for Kegley, he's 4 for 4 through the air for 53 yards. Getting the ball out quickly here for the junior, who went 13 of 18 for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns in their season opening win over Watford City. Kegley in the pistol, hands this one off, a little delayed to Blix, who gets about a gain of 1. And on the tackle was Wasness on the far side, and that's going to make it now 2nd and 4. Blix able to have 6 carries for 27 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns against the Wolves last week. As Blix continues to be in the backfield, trips to the right-handed side, 1 to the left. The 1 to the left is Wixow with the big catch of 35 yards so far here in the drive. Over 4 minutes here on this opening drive. Kegley stop, gives it to Wixow. Wixow at the 6, and Wixow gets taken down there for a gain of 8, and he is tackled by number 8 in Drone Levitt. So for Wixow on the play, 2 catches so far for 43 yards, 1st and goal on the Bank North scoreboard. Go to banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank as the Squirrels are looking to deposit one in the end zone. Devils Lake looking for a stand. Kegley in the pistol, handoff Blix. Blix to the near sideline. Blix to the 5, makes a cut, and he's taken down at the 3. A gain of 4 on the play for Zane. 2 carries now for 5 yards, makes it 2nd and goal. As Central Cass will continue to roll some players in, and Nowitzki, a running back now, the 3rd different running back used just on this drive. Twins to the left-handed side, 1 right. Kegley with 20 seconds on the play clock, hands this one off, going right up the middle, and he is in for the end zone. Touchdown, Central Cass. Nowitzki gets the score, and Central Cass takes the first lead on the game on the Bank North scoreboard. That's a rush from 3 yards out, and Nowitzki able to get the rushing touchdown on the way with the touchdown. And we'll get the point after attempt upcoming here from Matthew Bukow, who's 5 of 6 so far here on point after attempts on the season. Blaze Cotton is the holder. As the right-footed kick is up, end over end, and it's good. A Nowitzki 3-yard rushing touchdown followed by a Bukow point after attempt. It'll allow the Central Cass Squirrels to take the opening lead of the game at 7-0 on the Bank North scoreboard.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Taking a look at that opening drive that goes 72 yards, 3 minutes and 54 seconds off the clock. It's a Nowitzki 3-yard rushing touchdown, a Bukow point after attempt, and that'll give the Central Cass Squirrels 1 possession and 1 score here today on the Bank North scoreboard in this contest. For the Devils Lake Firebirds, we'll see what they can do offensively for the first time as Bukow puts this one on the tee at the 40-yard line. Sun making its way through some clouds here, a little more shade as came on the field. We'll get to see that for about another 40 minutes or so before it becomes completely a night contest. As for the Devils Lake Firebirds, 2 returners back, one of Weston Nelson. This one will be end-over-end kick to the 15-yard line for the Firebirds. That'll be Heilman. Heilman at the 30-yard line, and he gets taken down at about the 32, so good starting field position here for Devils Lake.
Firebirds take over first and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Link on the tackle for the Squirrels.
As for the Firebirds, they'll roll like this offensively. Carter Christensen, the left tackle. Grayson Alusin, the left guard at 6'1", 305. Casey Brown, the center, a junior, 6'5", 265. Grady Quam, the right guard, and then Ada Morgan at right tackle. Mason Palmer, the quarterback, and Briar Exner, the tailback here in this one. Pistol formation for the Firebirds on the far hash as Palmer, the 6-foot senior at 185 pounds. Claps, low snap, play on this will go to Exner, and Exner able to roll his way for about a gain of 3 on the opening rush of the contest. Here for Devils Lake, you have Easton Encinas at wingback, Weston Nelson at wide receiver with Max Palmer at wide receiver, and Cade Fee is a tight end. We'll get to the Squirrels defense here, a 3-4-4 look here for Central Cass, and Tommy Butler talking about they can use their base defense here after going up against a wing T formation last week against Watford City. Little delayed handoff. Exner trying to make a man miss. Gets a couple extra yards and keeps the pile moving past the 40 to the 41-yard line. So a gain of about 6 on the play here for Exner makes it 3rd and short. Central Cass with Trevin Quam and Evan Wiersma and Ben Nelson up front. They will rotate guys in. Cruchet, Thummel, Olsen, and Mueller at linebacker. Watterson, Holland, Cotton, and Wixo here at defensive back. 3rd and short for the Firebirds. Motion man is Heilman. They fake it to him. Handoff to Exner right up the middle, and he's going to get stuck at about the 40-yard line. Coming in was Aiden Thummel right on cue up the middle to deliver the first hit, and it'll be 4th and short. First decision of the game here for Coach Tom Lambrick at 4th and a full yard. They will need the 42-yard line for the first. Their punter is also their quarterback in Mason Palmer. 2 punts for 41 yards so far on the season. And it looks like the Firebirds will elect to go for it here. One wide receiver split out either side of the formation with Max Palmer on the left, Weston Nelson near sideline. Trying to get a hard count here. And we'll get a flag, and this could be on the offense with where it is. Maybe not enough men at the line. Legal formation, or you have someone in the neutral zone immediately as our officials. 1 flag so far here tonight. We'll see who the second one is on. The first one went against Devils Lake, and it will be against the Devils Lake Firebirds. 2 penalties for 5 yards so far, and now this will probably make the decision a little bit easier for Coach Todd Lambrick to punt this ball away. Does have a little bit of a breeze at the back here of Palmer, as here will be Blaze Cotton back at his own 30-yard line. Devils Lake, again, with your punter being your quarterback, you can come up with some creative formations and maybe still go for it here if you want. Now Palmer takes a couple of steps back. Looks towards the sideline, gives everybody a thumbs up, says, let's punt this one away. There's a nice-looking end-over-end punt. Cotton will pick it up at the 29-yard line. Has some room. Here comes a flag. Cotton gets to 30, to the 50. A gain of 20-plus yards pending the penalty, and this could be against Central Cass. 5:44 left to play in the opening quarter on the Bank North scoreboard. 1 possession each so far. The Squirrels will force a 3-and-out. And Central Cass took their opening drive 72 yards down the field for a touchdown. Penalty coming in at the 32-yard line. So we'll see what the procedure penalty is on this one, as they're going to talk about it. It should be from where the spot of the penalty was, where you would think it's a block in the back, and it will be a block in the back. So they will mark it from the spot of the foul and move it back. So for the Devils Lake Firebirds, you're able to flip the field from that punt eventually with the penalty. That'll work out pretty well for the Firebirds to see if they can get a 3-and-out, get the ball back. Well, for Central Cass, have some more work to do in front of you as they will mark it off. I'll mark this off from the 30-yard line and then step back from there and make its way through as they will put this one at the 20. So 10-yard penalty on the Central Cass Squirrels, as they will start with the football here with 5:44 left to play in the quarter at their own 20-yard line. Trips the near sideline, one to left. Pistol formation here for Kegley. Crochet behind him in the backfield. Kegley fires out to the outside. Holland caught for 8 yards, or make that 5 yards, caught by number 8. And so Holland's going to get his second catch of the night for 13 yards. And so far for Devil's Lake, if you're going to give them that 5-yard cushion, they're going to take about 5 yards, put their foot in the ground, come back to the quarterback and say, thank you very much. Here's a handoff. Crochet, a little jitterbug move. Gets to about the line of scrimmage at the 26. Crochet so far, 4 carries for a yard. In fairness, he does have 2 carries that have been -4 and -2 on a pitch play. Third down upcoming here for the Squirrels. Pistol formation, Crochet will make his way to the outside. They will flip it to the opposite side, and they got a little bit of a boundary here for the Squirrels as Jackson Haug makes his way to the 48-yard line. A gain of 22 on the play. Little bubble screen, able to get to the boundary and some, and Haug with his first reception of the night and the 5th Central Cass Squirrel receiver to come up with a reception. 89 yards here for Kegley. He's 7 of 7 through the air so far as Haug gets his 5th catch of the early season. Trips to the right, one near sideline. Devils Lake with no safety over the top, as they've done that throughout the course of this game. This one will be caught again here by Parker Wixo. And look at Wixo. Wixo continues to move to the 35-yard line. A healthy gain of 14 yards. Make that 16 yards on the play. Wixo, his 3rd catch of the contest so far with 59 yards. And we get a timeout here for the Devils Lake Firebirds. We'll break with them. Timeout on the field brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual here on yourliveevent.com.
When you think about North Dakota State College of Science, don't think about college. Don't think about desks. Don't think about buildings. Don't think about our expert instructors or our high-tech classrooms. Think about that new pickup you'll soon be driving. Think about decorating your first apartment. Think about that great job that's already waiting for you. Then, think about how you'll be doing all of those things in just 2 years. North Dakota State College of Science, the smarter way to college.
Timeout on the play brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual. They provide insurance products all of southeastern North Dakota. Local company providing local service to their policyholders. Visit CassCountyMutual.com. That's CassCountyMutual.com to find an agent near you. Chase Miller, Jacob Anderson here on a Friday night, the first one in September. Everybody back in the swing of things from a school standpoint. Some more college football coming at you a little bit tomorrow. You have North Dakota State at Tennessee State, UND hosting Portland State. Dragons head down to Marshall, Minnesota for a date with Southwest Minnesota State. And how about them Vikings? PCSU picking up a win over Osberg yesterday. Mayville at Concordia, a night game 24 hours from now. First night game over at Concordia in their history. So a lot of college football to be on the spot for coming up tomorrow. First time out here for Devils Lake. Want to get that defense tightened up right now as the Squirrels getting some healthy plays. Double move, this one going to Cotton down the side at the 5, incompletes. First incompletion of the game for Kegley. Trying a little hitch and go on the boundary, and with no safety over the top, these Squirrels wide receivers, tight ends, or running backs, when they go out into the perimeter, they're going to have one-on-one, for the most part, opportunities. You're not going to have a cover 1, cover 2, or anything of that nature to worry about. 4:33 here in the quarter. Left to play in the first. Kegley, handoff Crochet. Crochet looking to get to the boundary. Crochet makes a man miss to the numbers. Now at the 30, and he's wrapped up for a 5-yard gain. Weston Nelson will come in with the tackle. 5 carries for 6 yards here for Crochet. As you see, a 3rd and 5-yard line, as we'll have a new tailback into the game in Zane Blix, the sophomore. Twins still left in the right here for Kegley. Kegley trying the hard count. See if they can get a free 5 yards on a first down. Play clock at 15 seconds. Motion man going from the right to left in the slot position is Jackson Haug. Kegley motion blitz. Kegley going one-on-one opposite side. That'll be incomplete as they were looking for Holland. In on the coverage on the far side for Devils Lake was Will Heilman, the junior at 6'1". That'll bring up a 4th down upcoming. We did see going into this particular position, Bukow from about 30-35 would probably be about as far as you'd want to attempt a field goal. So this is without question 4-down territory for Coach Butler. Devils Lake a chance to get off the field. Squirrels need 5 yards to continue their second drive of the game and see if they can put one in the end zone after a Nowitzki 3-yard rushing score on the first drive. Kegley with time fires across the middle. This one off the fingertips here for the Squirrels of Gavin Tope. Might have been deflected on the play by Nelson off to Tope, and that will be a turnover on downs. So the Firebirds defense makes a stand, and they will have their second crack at it at the 30-yard line here offensively. That's the play, though. A quick little slant across the middle. A little skinny post again. No safety help. If you can get by your defender, Kegley's going to look for you, and Tope was able to do so. Nelson was able to at least get a hand up there and be a nuisance there with Tope. 1st and 10 upcoming for the Firebirds. Motion man's going to be Heilman on this orbit motion. Handoff. This will go for about a gain of 1 on the play. As in on the carry here will be Cade Fee. Fee with a gain of 1. Cade Fee, the tight end, to start the game. Seen him play a couple of different positions early here in this first quarter for Devils Lake. One wide receiver near sideline. Going to be Max Palmer, his twin Mason Palmer at the quarterback spot. 3-down lineman, handoff. This goes to Fee again, and this one will be Heilman, Heilman will bounce his way to about the 37-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6. For the Firebirds so far, 3 different players have rushed the football of Exner, Fee, and Heilman. Now it's 3rd and 7. 3rd and 3 upcoming from the 37 here for the Firebirds. One wide receiver split up both to the left and the right. And so far, we've seen Mason Palmer hand the football off a good chunk here for Devils Lake. Palmer, little keep on the option, and he's going to get stuck at the 39-yard line. A loss of 2, and you could hear the oohs and the ahs up here on the play. As you'll get about a gain of 2 here for Palmer. In a similar situation in the first possession, where it's 4th and 1 here for the Firebirds. It's 4th and 1 again. They had a false start to back them up and punt. And I think Devils Lake, with what they have right now, they will look to go for it here under 3 minutes to play in this first quarter. One wide receiver, both left and right. Central Cass putting 5 men at the line. 2 safeties over the top. Palmer going to hand this one off. Exner gets the first down, and Exner rolls his way to the 44-yard line. Colton Cruchet, part of the tackling party there for Central Cass, alongside with Hunter Domeyer, but it's still going to be a gain of 5 on the play here for Exner. 4 carries for 14 yards for the 6'2", 205 senior. Exner just a little bit of a load to bring down once he gets going on the tracks. Twins left, one in the near sideline. We'll see if Devils Lake attempts their first pass of the game. So far, it's been all on the ground. Play action. This one going to the outside. Incomplete for Max Palmer. Looking for about 6-7 yards. Prior to that, you had 7 plays offensively, all on the ground. Makes it now 2nd and 10 upcoming at the 44-yard line. Devils Lake, because the addition of Central Cass and Kindred, have made their way to the West this season for AA football, a team that's been consistently in the East for many years and kind of vaulting between AA and 3A for the past decade or so. As they will come out shotgun, Heilman motioning right to left across the formation. Delay to Exner, a little RPO play, and Palmer's going to throw and fire and goes to Max. Max with a sliding catch for a gain of 16. Nice job by Palmer. Mason looking to see if he can go to the boundary almost to Heilman, then had time to go all the way across the body, and he threw a rope. Speaking of throwing a rope, he had a perfect game here just about 400 feet away in the State A Legion baseball tournament here in Castleton. 87 pitches of 21 up and 21 down, no 3-ball count for Mason Palmer. Motion man going right to left here for the Firebirds is Max Palmer. Mason Has some time, steps up, wheel route going to Max, caught with the back shoulder catch of the 15, and the Mason-Max connection is starting to heat up. A nice little play on the way for a gain of 26. 1st and 10 here for Devils Lake. Just a really nice play there from Mason Palmer on that back shoulder. You bring the man in motion, and Max able just to kind of come out almost on a wheel route if he was at a running back spot. And now the Firebirds are threatening here with 90 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. Shotgun formation. Delayed handoff. This will go to Heilman. Heilman to the 10, and Heilman gets taken down at about the 9-yard line for a gain of 5. Able to come in on that one was Trevin Quam. He was the leading tackler with 8 tackles against Watford City a week ago here for the Squirrels. Heilman, 2 carries for 11 yards. That's what Devils Lake wants to do. They had an 8-minute drive against Kindred. They want to control the tempo and control the clock here a little bit with the ground game, then give the opportunity for Mason to throw when he has chances. 2nd and 5 here for the Firebirds. As this one will be the Statue of Liberty play, and that goes nowhere. They're trying to fake it to the right-handed side. Then Palmer came around, very Boise State-esque on the play, as Fee was trying to come around on that one, and Fee gets stuck at the 10-yard line. As Fee will come out. Good job on the back end for Central Cass staying home, not going for the eye candy, as it brings up a 3rd down upcoming here for the Firebirds. They need the 4 for a first. Palmer in the gun. Exner to his right. Central Cass bringing pressure. Palmer fires, throws to Max, incomplete. Off of his hands at the goal line, and that brings up a 4th down. Their field goal kicker is their quarterback in Mason Palmer. This would be a 27-yard kick with the wind if you go for 3. If you go for the 6, you need 6 yards. I tell you what, the one thing with Mason, that ball comes out quickly. Eric Burgad from Kindred last week called him the Patrick Mahomes of high school football in this state. You allow him a little bit of room, allow him a little bit of space, and he can hurt you. Play clock getting down to 5. Firebirds just get to line with 3, with 2. They get the playoff. Palmer getting pressure. Palmer makes a man miss, and then Palmer is going to get taken down, back for a sack at the 14-yard line. Nice play on the way for the Central Cass Squirrels with Hunter Rohr able to come in. You saw the outside pressure, and Palmer had to step up. That'll be a turnover on downs in Palmer. And the Devils Lake Firebirds will have to go back and play some defense. 4-yard loss on the play. And Central Cass will take over at their own 14-yard line. That could be an early play of the game kind of potential with what you have here. And what looks to be the final play of the opening quarter. Good drive by Devils Lake. Gets stymied here by the Squirrels. How can Central Cass take advantage here? 2 wide receivers split out either side is Kegley in that pistol formation. Devils Lake with 5 linemen. 5 guys right at the line. Little quick screen play. This will go outside. Incomplete as they were looking for Cotton. After going 8 for 8, it's been 4 consecutive incompletions here for Kegley. And because it was a quick bubble screen, clock at 4.3 seconds. As Kegley getting the call in, letting everybody know what it was from the sideline, 2nd and 10. Kegley looking for a double move. Kegley rolling near sideline, pops a pass, and this one is going to be picked off at the 32-yard line. Kobe Dronin-Levitt, the senior, comes up with the pick. That'll be at the 32, first turnover of the game here for either club, and that's how we'll end our first quarter of play. After 1 quarter play on the Bank North scoreboard at Central Cass, 7, Devils Lake scoreless as we head to quarter number 2.
Hi, we're Tommy's Express. Scan the QR code for a fast pass to a free month of washing. Our modern car wash offers a bright, open environment and a low-stress conveyor belt entry. Our signature scent, ceramic body wax, spot-free rinse, and heated blowers give you the best shine in town. Check out the wash for yourself. Washing your car is easy, fast, and fun. Visit Tommy's Express today.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting section, and check out their different paint mixing options from Benjamin Moore, Clark and Kensington, and Royal. From their grills to Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to the Customer Laser Engraving Center. Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
On the Bank North scoreboard, Bank North been a trusted financial partner for generations, helping customers, communities build, grow, and prosper. For more, go to banknorth.bank. Bank North, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Chase Miller alongside Jacob Anderson with you here on this Friday night as we take a look at some of the scores across the state of North Dakota. Watford City 20, Wahpeton 12 at the half. Jamestown leads by 1, 7-6 with 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. And Kindred leads by 14 over West Fargo Horace. 8 minutes left to go in the third. Here in Castleton, Devils Lake looking to cash in after the first turnover of the game. Handoff Exner. Exner at the 30-yard line, and he's going to get rolled up there. Coming in low on the tackle, going to be Evan Wiersma, part of the tackling party for a gain of 3. 5 carries for 19 yards here for Exner. Going back to Kangley. Kangley was rolling near sideline, tried that pass off his back foot, and just good defense there by the Firebirds with Dronin Levitt. He was draping the intended wide receiver. Well, that was a little underthrow. It went to the corner, and that's how the Firebirds came away with the interception. Motion man going right to left is Encinas here for Devils Lake. They roll the pocket out to Palmer. Palmer looking down the field. Palmer going to step up, fire, throw, and that's going to be caught at the 15-yard line to the aforementioned Encinas. I'll mark him down with the knee at the 16 for a gain of 13 yards. Encinas with his first reception of the night, his second of the season. And you allow Mason Palmer to escape the pocket. He can hurt you in a couple of different ways. You come up and try to make the tackle, throws the pass over you. If you stay back on the pass, then he'll go and run. So kind of a option style of quarterback here for the Firebirds. Devils Lake knocking on the door here in the red zone. Got stymied last time on their last possession. Handoff goes to Exner. Exner at the 15. Exner looking to push the pile forward to the 10, and Exner's going to get a little extra room with the stretch to about the 9-yard line for a gain of 7. And for the Devils Lake Firebirds, getting close to another first down as Central Cass will be Colton Bean coming out here, the senior. A little bit of a possibly just a rolled ankle, trying to apply some pressure on it as he makes his way to the sideline here for Central Cass. Devils Lake right now a wide receiver, both left and right, gun formation. Palmer in the gun with Exner and Heilman in the backfield. They fake it to Exner, handoff to Heilman. Heilman's going to get met right in the middle, coming here by Grady Mueller in on the tackle. It's a gain of 1. 3 carries for 12 yards on the play. Makes it a third down upcoming and a long 2. Third and a long 2 here for the Devils Lake Firebirds. They will need the 6-yard line for the first. They got it at about the 8 right now. Wide receiver right-handed side goes Nelson. They got twins still left. Shotgun formation here for Mason Palmer. Palmer motioning Heilman left to right. We're going to get a flag on the play, and this could be a false start, and it will be. Penalties have haunted Devils Lake a little bit in this game so far. 3 penalties for 15 yards, but 2 of them have been false starts, and a 3rd and short, and then a 4th down and 1 so far here for Devils Lake. Ball be spotted back at about the 13-yard line here. As you'll see it, 3rd down upcoming here for Devils Lake. Coming up at the half, we'll get to our first half numbers. Also from there, we'll continue and take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard. That and more as Palmer in the gun. Palmer with time, fires to the outside. This one is going to be caught at the 1. Weston Nelson comes in on the catch. He is tackled on the far side by Keaton Link. but not before it goes to the 2-yard line at a gain of 11 yards. First catch of the season for the 6'1 senior Weston Nelson. Just an out pattern past the sticks, and they get the first and goal opportunity here for Devils Lake. A reminder, Devils Lake does get the ball to start the second half. After Central Cass won the toss, elected to receive, they scored 6, and eventually 7 on that opening toss. Palmer in the gun. Palmer, clean snap. Palmer looking, fires outside, incomplete. As they were looking for Nelson, able to come out on that one was Keaton Link. Makes it first and goal to now second and goal here for Devils Lake. Nice kind of a day. Last Friday you're in your shorts and T-shirts. This Friday you're maybe bringing, not the parka with, but maybe you're bringing a little bit of a hand warmer, bringing an extra little layer or two to stay warm here. About a month from now, I think this is a warm day here across the state. Second and goal here for the Firebirds. Ball at the 2-yard line. Palmer back in the shotgun. Handoff, Exner. Exner slips. He would have had the end zone, but the turf monster brought him down for a gain of 1. Exner, if he stays on his feet, more than likely is in for 6. Instead, on the cut, he just lost his balance. Was trying his best to get to the goal line on the stretch, but now makes it third and goal at the 1-yard line. Drive that's taken nearly 4 minutes off the clock since the interception to end quarter number 1. Palmer goes under center. Quick snap, fumbles the football, and the Squirrels recover at the goal line. Coming up with it for Central Cass is going to be Trevin Quam. Quam will come up with the fumble recovery at the 1-yard line. They went for the quick little QB sneak, and the ball was never in Mason's hands. It hit the turf in terms of a good exchange, and a turnover for a turnover here in this first half. So back-to-back drives for Devils Lake that stalls in the red zone, and the Squirrels defense comes up with a large turnover. They'll have to go 99 yards, but they will take it. Here to start things off. One wide receiver, both left and right. Kegley, QB keeper, gets the boundary, makes a cut, makes a man miss. Look at Kegley wheel and deal. Kegley to the 9, Kegley to the 10, and Kegley close to a first down. As that'll be Cruchet, on the play, as Cruchet makes his way for 10 yards. A little wildcat there on the play. Cruchet will get 6 carries for 16 yards. Nicely done for Cruchet to wheel and deal a little bit on the play. As Cruchet gets that first down here for Central Cass, but more importantly, gets them out of that first and second down situation within your own 5-yard line. Cruchet again with a little bit of a lane. Cruchet to the 15-yard line. Cruchet to the 20, and Cruchet rumbles his way past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A flag back at the 12. It is a gain of 15, barring the penalty. And this is going to be on the Squirrels, and it's a hold. They'll be half a distance to the goal line, and it will be a hold here on Central Cass. This will be a spot foul, ball back at the 1-yard line, and just like that, you'll see a first down again on the doorstep of your own end zone from a Central Cass point of view. From a Devils Lake point of view, obviously you'd like to have the football and put it in the end zone there, but you can still see if you can get away from this particular possession and get the ball back a little bit. Second penalty of the game for 16 yards on the way now for Central Cass. Handoff, Cruchet. Cruchet makes it to the middle and then rolls his way past the 10 to the 11 where he was met by Encinas. So he'll get 5 of those yards back, make it to about a 2nd and 10. As the Squirrels with 7 minutes left to play here in the first half have all 3 timeouts remaining. Devils Lake with 2, but Devils Lake now will have 1. We'll take a break with them. This timeout brought to you in part by Taupe Insurance. We're back with more here in Castleton midway through quarter number 2.
If you're ready to save time, aggravation, and money, the team at Weber Insurance is here and ready to make the process as painless as possible. Weber Insurance makes sure you find the best insurance because their agency is 100% independent. They have the freedom to shop the marketplace and find the best possible combination of cost and coverage. Talk with Dan, Carol, Leslie, or Craig to get a quote started today, or go online to weberinsurance.net. Call, click, text, or stop in at Weber Insurance, locally owned in Castleton.
Love the smell of jerky in a press box on a Friday night. You know, you're in the fall here on yourliveevent.com. 6:58 left to play in the opening half. It's 7-0 Central Cass with the lead over the Devils Lake Firebirds here. Just as the aroma and the fumes with the jerky here just makes you want to be in a deer stand somewhere, as Central Cass Squirrels right now. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Devils Lake burns the timeout. That's their second defensively that they have called here so far in this first half. So they will have one remaining as Central Cass gets back on the ball. Timeout brought to you in part by Taupe Insurance. Get in touch with Ryan today at Taupe Insurance at 701-347-4045. As you'll see Kegley here. Motion man going left to right. Kegley will hand this one off. Crochet makes his way to the 14 before he is eventually tripped up on the play by Alberts, the 5'7" junior defensive tackle, for about a gain of 2. Third down here for Kegley. And no safety over the top, so it's going to be one-on-one here for the Firebirds. Kegley with some time, fires, throws, finds a man. This one will be close to the 20-yard line as Central Cass with Cash Lorenz able to come up with the reception. As Lorenz will make it at the 19. As the 4th and short, so about a gain of 7 on the play. As that's a 6 different Central Cass Squirrel player that has a reception. 4th and 2, we'll see if the Squirrels go for it. Backed up in their own 20-yard line. High snap, and this one goes off of Crochet. Crochet will pick it up at the 5, and he's going to get rocked back. And the Devils Lake Firebirds defense makes the stand, and they will have a 1st and goal situation at the 5. Just off the snap immediately. No one could do anything there if you're Central Cass. So a turnover on downs here for the Squirrels, and the Firebirds will have their 4th possession of the game starting at the 5-yard line. 5:55 remaining here in half number 1. And we've seen it all on your football bingo card here tonight. We've seen a fumble, we've seen an interception, turnover on downs, ball at the 1. Seen a little bit of everything so far in an entertaining opening half here in Castleton. Mason Palmer 1st and goal at the 5. A little delayed play action to Exner. Palmer steps up, fires, throws, caught by Exner, runs the Texas route into the end zone for a 5-yard score. The Firebirds do indeed get on the scoreboard here in this first half. They're going to see the point after attempt upcoming by the aforementioned Mason Palmer, unless they're going to go for 2, and it looks like they will go for the extra point. Max Palmer, his twin brother, is the holder. The long snapper is Kane Fee, and the Firebirds cash in after the turnover on downs as Palmer comes on for the right-footed kick. This to tie the game. Clean snap. The right-footed kick end over end is through the uprights, and we have a new score on the Bank North scoreboard. 7 up with 5:50 left to play here in the first half.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner 3. Good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
This is Chris from Agassi Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. How did your planting season go this year? Are you looking to make improvements for next year instead of breaking the bank on a whole new planter? Get the best price of the year on upgrades for your planter from Agassi Precision Ag this summer. Get $50 back per roll per product for some of our best-selling solutions. Make the precision decision for your planter this summer. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com for more information.
Well, one play for 5 yards and a touchdown there for the Devils Lake Firebirds, which took 5 seconds off the clock. The man who caught it, Exner, with the ball on the tee. This one goes to Blix at the 11-yard line. Blix making his way to the near sideline, looking for the reverse. He fakes it to Crochet. Blix to 20 to 25, and Blix will get close to the 30-yard line for nearly a 20-yard return, and that's where Central Cass will start for their 5th possession of the game with 5:42 left to play in the opening half. Now for Devils Lake, you started at the 32, the 30, the positive 32, and the positive 5. For the Central Cass Squirrels, the 28, the 20, the 14, the 1, and the 28-yard line so far here for Central Cass. One wide receiver split out to the left-handed side here for the Squirrels is Easton Holland. Twins to the near sideline as they will come on with another man here with Olsen. As they have 10 seconds here on the play clock. Kegley with the motion man left to right is Haug. Handoff goes to Crochet. Crochet's got a hole. Crochet with more than a hole. He's got a lane and some 40, 45, 50, and Crochet gets tripped up by Encinas by the right hand, but it's a gain of 23 yards for Crochet. 9 carries for 47 yards here for Crochet. Not the second longest play from scrimmage here tonight for the Squirrels. Hand off to Crochet again, who spins, and Crochet is going to get taken down for about a gain of 1. Coming in eventually on the tackle, number 74, and Isaac Woodhall, the senior, here for Devils Lake, a gain of 2. That was a one-score game last year, 34-27. This one living up to that billing here in the rematch. A little quick screen to the outside, and Haug's going to get hit at the 50, fumbles the football. And it looks like Haug will stay with it eventually to bring up a 3rd down, but he takes a shot and is on the turf right now here for Central Cass. We'll take a break with him. It's high school football here today on yourliveevent.com.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
No job too big, no call too small. Bears Home Solutions handles it all. You need a bear in there, oh yeah. Keeping homes just right with expert care. Let our stars guide you when repairs scare. You need a bear in there.
Check out bearshomesolutions.com.
Jackson Haug continues to be attended to here at the 50-yard line. We just hope it's the wind knocked out of him is all that it is. But with the way he got hit in today's day and age, you're going to definitely go through concussion protocol no matter what to check that off. And all that you hope is he got the wind knocked out of him, is trying to come up to his own pressure right now. And he will come up a little bit here for the Central Cass Squirrels. This allows us to get to our out-of-town scoreboard. Dickinson leads Williston 21-0 late in the first quarter. From there, Red River leads Bismarck St. Mary's 14-7 with 1 minute left to play in the first. Kindred over West Fargo Horace 27-20 entering the fourth quarter. And Grand Forks Central leads Jamestown 19-7 late in the first half. After one quarter of play, it's Minot North 6, Fargo South scoreless. And Watford City all over Wahpeton in the fourth quarter, 32-12, Watford City over Wahpeton. Let's look at our out-of-town scoreboard here on the Bank North scoreboard as Haug will come out. Central Cass with Cotton, the motion man left to right. It's a 3rd and 10 ball at the 50-yard line, and they're going to get either a false start or did the defensive end come across in the motion, and they're going to say that it will be a false start on Central Cass and Blix. I say that Blix did not go in motion. That's what made the defensive end come across. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty for the Squirrels. 3 penalties now for 21 yards. Devils Lake has 3 penalties for 15 yards. Both teams with a turnover. Devils Lake with a fumble. Central Cass with an interception. 3rd and 15 upcoming here for Central Cass. They will need the Firebirds' 40-yard line. Kegley looking, goes to the outside, incomplete, looking for Cotton at the 50. And Kegley now 10 of 16 through the air for 110 yards and an interception. And Central Cass Squirrels will look to punt for the first time here this season. They didn't have to worry about punting against the Watford City Wolves. As you'll see it now, Valighty coming on to punt this one away at the 35. Well, you got Heilman back here for Devil's Lake. Also looks back with him here in Kobe Dronin-Levitt as we'll get a Central Cass timeout. We'll take a quick break with them. 4:20 left to play here in quarter number 2.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator.
And right on cue, that is a Cass County Mutual timeout here today on your liveevent.com. Tied at 7 apiece. So timeout here for Central Cass. That'll be their first of the half. Well, for Devil's Lake, they have one timeout remaining. Dronin-Levitt back again with Heilman. Here's the end-over-end kick by Valighty. This will be a fair catch at the 19-yard line, able to flip the field on the play for a 36-yard punt. This will be at the 19-yard line, and Devil's Lake will have their 5th possession of the football game. This will be their worst starting field position of the game. 4:12 left to play here in the first half. We'll see how aggressive Devil's Lake will be. They get the ball to start the second half, so from the Devil's Lake point of view, you just don't want to give Central Cass the ball back here in the second quarter unless you score. 2 wide receivers left, one to the right-handed side. Shotgun formation again for the Firebirds. Exner goes in motion to the near boundary. They will give it to Exner. Exner at the 20-yard line to the 25, and Exner able to get by Cruchet and then picks up the first down to about the 32-yard line for a gain of 13 yards. So Exner, his second catch for 18 yards, has a touchdown as well. Got by the tackle there of Cruchet, who went low, but Exner with that shoulder pad able to help him up. And in high school football, you go out of bounds, your clock will stop, so that'll just help the Firebirds a little bit more. Get out of bounds, you can just milk the clock a little bit to your advantage here. As Palmer trips. We'll give this to the 35, and Heilman takes a tackle end over end to about the 40-yard line. Cotton comes in on that one. That'll actually be a pass of 8 yards. On that little sweep action. So Heilman able to get his first catch of the evening. He was the leading receiver for Devil's Lake against Kindred. 6 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown last week in the loss against the Vikings. Second down and short, 2nd and 2. Twins left, one near sideline. Mason Palmer with Exner to his right. Play action. This will be 5 yards, and it's Cotton going out of bounds for a gain to the 48-yard line is Weston Nelson for a gain of 8. Mason Palmer right now is starting to heat up. 4 for his last 4, including a touchdown. So far in this game, 9 of 11 through the air for 98 yards. He's also rushed twice here tonight. 2 wide receivers left, one to the right-handed side. Palmer in that pistol with Fee, the tight end to the right. Handoff goes to Exner. Exner's going to get met at the 50 and then eventually taken down on the play by Quam. He was met by Rohr, but Exner able to get a gain of 4. 8 carries for 31 yards. Devil's Lake again with just 1 timeout remaining. But the playbook is open with the ball at midfield and 3 minutes left to play in this opening half. Good AA football game here tonight on your liveevent.com. As the Firebirds will look to take their first lead of the contest. Squirrels scored first, 7-0 after 1 quarter. Devils Lake tied it up on their last possession. As you'll see, a flag coming out here. Not everybody was set. A lot of motioning making their way. And this will be the 4th penalty of the game. All the 5-yard variety here on Devils Lake. Illegal shift on the play. 4 penalties for 20 yards. And they will replay second down, as this will go back into Firebird territory and make it about 2nd and 11 upcoming here tonight. For more high school football, check out our website, yourliveevent.com, for more games coming up on Friday. Ton of volleyball next week as well, with both sides of the river fully in swing. The volley in the Valley Tournament coming up this weekend here in Castleton as well. If you're a volleyball fan, coming out tomorrow morning, afternoon, and night to check out some high school volleyball here in the state of North Dakota. Palmer in the gun. Palmer steps up screen as this one is going to be batted and eventually picked off. The Squirrels will come up with it. Oh, what a pick on the way here for Central Cass. As coming with it is going to be Nelson. Quam was able to bat the ball up in the air, and Nelson able to hold it like a Christmas ham on that one to come away with it. So there's the pick. There was something the Squirrels were looking for, just to go their way on a bounce. And they get the pick, and the 6th possession of the game here for the Squirrels will be in Devil's Lake territory. They're trying to set up the screen to Exner, and if you can't get there, put your hand up. That's exactly what Quam was able to do. He gets the hockey assist, and then Nelson comes away with the pick. 2nd turnover of the game here for Devil's Lake. Can the Squirrels now cash it on in? Crochet motion man. Kegley looking, firing. This one deflected, caught at the 25-yard line, and eventually the Squirrels will come away with it there by Lorenz. It's a gain of 11. 122 yards passing here for Kegley. And for Central Cass, they have 2 timeouts remaining, so playbook fully advantage as well, open with 2 timeouts in the way that they kind of run that sugar no huddle. Handoff, Crochet. Crochet gets to the 20-yard line. Crochet to the 16. He is taken down there for a gain of 8 yards. 11 carries here for Crochet. He's got 57 yards on the ground. One wide receiver, right-handed side, twins to the left. A little shot in the arm on that pick here for Central Cass. Crochet spinning, not once, not twice, but eventually wrapped up. Cade Fee comes in on the tackle. That'll be about a tackle at the line. No gain on the play. Maybe a yard on the loss, and it will be a 1-yard loss. So 3rd down here for Central Cass, and this is right on the fringe of field goal territory as well. You would be kicking with the wind right now if you don't get any yards. It'd be about a 35-yard attempt. They fake the pitch. They throw it out to the far side. Cotton to the 15, and Cotton gets the first down. Heilman comes in on the tackle, but not before you get the first down to about the 13-yard line, and an injured Firebird on the play. So to the 13, able to get the first. And Cotton with his 2nd catch of the game as the Devils Lake Firebirds player in Easton Encinas is currently being attended to at the 25-yard line. We'll take a quick break. We'll continue with more after this here in Castleton.
At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
7-all here with under 60 seconds to play in the opening half on yourliveevent.com. I'm Chase Miller alongside Jacob Anderson with you here tonight in Castleton. As coming out here is Encinas under his own pressure. But it'll be first down upcoming here for Central Cass. 2 wide receivers left and right. Kegley with time. Pops, throws, incompletes. As they were looking for Parker Wixo on the play, you had Weston Nelson in on the coverage. This might be a game where Kegley throws the ball 40-plus times. He's currently 19 passes so far here in this first half. 2nd and 10 ball at the 13 with under 50 seconds to play in the first half. Trips to the right-handed side. Kegley throws it. This one is batted and nearly a pick. As Nelson in on the coverage as they were looking for Parker Wixo. That'll makes it 3rd and 10. It's also a situation, again, you do have a pretty good kicker with Bukau, the sophomore. You're definitely within field goal range, so at least here for the Squirrels' perspective, you want a chance at a lead. Now there comes via 6 or possibly via kick. 3rd and 10. Cotton on the outside, able to get to the boundary at the 10. Cotton puts the shoulder down to the 5. Cotton in the end zone, and he hot steps in for a touchdown. A 13-yard bubble screen that takes a house call. Kangling to Cotton, and the Squirrels have regained the advantage. 139 yards passing here for Kegley. Cotton now with 3 catches for 19 yards and a score. And the Squirrels have taken the lead as Bukau comes on for the point after attempt. Able to get away from a tackle at the 5, and Cotton went to the end zone. Flag on the play. We do get the point after attempt is good. We'll see what the penalty is on the far side, as this could be encroachment or maybe not enough men on the line from a Squirrel perspective where that play and the flag was. So it looks like they will have to re-kick the point after attempt, and it will be Central Cass with a 5-yard penalty. It'll be their 4th for 26 yards. So just not enough men on the line there for Central Cass, and make it a 25-yard point after attempt now for the Squirrels. Clean snap, hold, the right-footed kick for Bukau is up. And it's good. It's Central Cass 14, Devils Lake 7, here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
37.7 seconds left to play here as Bukau with the PAT will put this one at the 40-yard line here for the Central Cass Squirrels, following a 13-yard pitch and catch. Kangley to Cotton on the boundary. Cotton did the rest on that bubble screen and able to hot step into the end zone as Central Cass now leads it by 7. A topsy-turvy kind of a game here for both teams, as this is going to be caught by Heilman at the 15-yard line. Heilman looking for a little lane, has some to the 35. Heilman to the 40. Heilman continues to make his way to the 47-yard line. Central Cass with a Hunter Domeyer on the tackle, but not before a really nice return here for Devils Lake, and they put themselves with 1 timeout remaining here in the half. Trying to see if they can get a little bit closer before maybe you get that Hail Mary situation. 6th possession of the half here for the Firebirds. With 27.7 seconds left to play here in half number 1. What does old Mason Palmer have up its sleeve? Twins both left and right here for the Firebirds. Central Cass, they will rush 4. Palmer looking for a double move. Palmer looking down the field, getting chased. Palmer evades a sack. Palmer picks up a block. Palmer with the throw at the 45, and he gets drilled right at the sticks. Holland delivers the lumber on Drone Levitt. That's going to be right at the line to gain. They will see if they give him a first. It took 10 seconds off the clock. They will give him a first down. Drone Levitt with his first reception of the game. 6 different Firebirds have a reception here in the first half. 2 wide receivers, both left and right on the play on a backyard scramble there for Mason Palmer. Palmer looking again, steps up. Palmer looking down the field, has a man at the 15, incomplete at the 10. Drone Levitt was there with Holland again. And now it makes it 10.5 seconds left to play as Palmer took a shot. Kind of almost a jump pass by the time he stepped up in the pocket. And now it's 2nd and 10. Central Cass rushing 4, so if you're a DN, a defensive tackle, you can kind of put your ears back a little bit and try to get to the quarterback. Central Cass wants to keep everything in front of them here. Devils Lake can go anywhere on the field with one timeout. And if you do get a first, the clock will stop regardless as well. Ball at the 43, they bring for Palmer. Looking, Palmer, rolling, Palmer steps up, fires. This one flutters down the field. It's a 50-50 ball caught by Devils Lake. Do they get the timeout before clock runs out? With .3, they will need a timeout, and they get the catch to Max Palmer at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 30 on the play, and with .3 left to go, the clock stops on the first down, and then you get the timeout as well. So 30 seconds, 138 yards through the air. Max Palmer, 3 catches for 72 yards, and the way it went off his hand, that was almost like playing 500 at the end of the day, and Max Palmer somehow through 2.5 red jerseys came away with it. Well, currently it would be a 30-yard field goal from here. If Mason Palmer could kick a 30-yard field goal, that is the question right now. Or do you have one shot, throw it in the end zone? Devils Lake does get the ball to start the second half. But right now, Devils Lake with one last play, unless it's a defensive penalty on Central Cass. Game that's just over an hour old here today, 64 minutes and counting. And it has been a fun one if you're a high school football fan. If you're a fan of Devils Lake or Central Cass, you might have had your blood pressure go up a little bit here in this game so far. What will the second half have in store? As it looks like Devils Lake will try to put one in the end zone and see if they can tie this game. Central Cass does have a timeout if they want to take what the look would be, then call a timeout, but they're going to let it roll. Quads to the right, one to the left. Shotgun for Mason Palmer. Squirrels rush 4. Palmer steps up. Palmer fires, throws. This one is going to be caught in the end zone. Oh, what a catch by Heilman. Heilman nearly dropped it, came back down with it, and Palmer threw a dart. Touchdown, Firebirds. 13 yards on the play. Heilman with his second reception of the half for 21 yards and a touchdown, and the ever-important point after attempt to try to tie this puppy up. Well, Palmer threw some sizzle on that one, as Mason will try to tie this game up at the half. Snap spot, kick is up, and Mason's kick, is it good? No, it's not. As Devils Lake does score the touchdown, but the point after attempt is no good. So at the half on our Bank North scoreboard, it's Central Cass 14, Devils Lake 13. We're back with our halftime show after this here on YourLiveEvent.com.
At the Central Cass School District, excellence isn't just a goal, it's our mission by empowering individuals to make a positive impact. Central Cass School District is dedicated to providing students with an innovative curriculum supported by a variety of co-curricular activities from athletics and the arts to leadership and service, aiming to provide excellence between students, staff, family, and community. Central Cass School District, fostering student excellence by inspiring individuals to be their best.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Halftime here on YourLiveEvent.com as we take a look at the full moon, and then we'll slowly transition to Youth Night here on YourLiveEvent.com. Give some of the grandparents and folks watching maybe their younger cousins, niece, nephews, or grandsons here enjoying a little youth night at the park. If you're a fan, this is the best halftime entertainment I think you could have. You got a football game on the north side of the field and a football game on the south side of the field here today in Castleton as well. Quickly, let's take a look at the first half numbers here in this one. We'll get to the scoring recap here on yourliveevent.com. That last drive for Devils Lake, 27.7 seconds, and they needed all of the 27.7 that went. Eventually 53 yards for the score. Central Cass won the opening coin toss, elected to receive. Navicki with a 3-yard rushing touchdown. Bukow with the point after attempt that capped off a 72-yard touchdown drive for Central Cass, which made it 7-0 at the half. Devils Lake able to tie the game up at 7 apiece with 5:55 left to play. Mason Palmer found Exner for a 5-yard receiving touchdown. Palmer with the point after attempt made it 7-7. Central Cass then with 37.7 seconds left to go came back and was able to get Kangley to Cotton for a 13-yard little bubble screen touchdown right before the half. Bukow came on for the point after attempt, made it 14-7. On the ensuing kickoff, Heilman had about a 34-yard kickoff return to the 47-yard line, which set up the eventual score. Mason Palmer to Heilman for 13 yards at the buzzer to end the first half. Palmer missed the point after attempt, which made it 14-13 in favor of the Central Cass Squirrels. So that's a look at your scoring summary here in this one. We'll get to the team numbers as Devils Lake so far with 202 yards of offense. They have 13 carries for 51 yards and 151 yards through the air for Mason Palmer. 4 penalties for 20 yards and 2 turnovers, a fumble, and an interception. For the Central Cass Squirrels, 203 yards of total offense, 64 on the ground, 15 carries for 64 yards, 139 yards through the air, 4 penalties for 26 yards here in this first half of play. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the individual numbers and allow you to enjoy some youth football here in Castleton. At the half, it's Central Cass up by 1.
What is that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe Toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or Taupe Insurance, maybe?
I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's Taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
High school football here on our halftime show, brought to you in part by Wisely and Kramer Agency with Farmers Union Insurance in Castleton. Scott and Tyler are your local small-town agents in Castleton and surrounding communities. Whether it's crop and farm, home and auto, health and life, you can contact those in Castleton here with Tyler and Scott for the great rates and local service that you expect. Here's a look at the first half numbers. Central Cass Squirrels individually led by Colton Cruchet, 12 carries in this game for 56 yards on the ground. Blix, 2 carries for 5 yards, and then Nowitzki, 3 carries, make that 1 carry for 3 yards in a touchdown. Kegley through the air so far, 13 of 21 for 139 yards. He has a throwing touchdown and an interception. Leading receiver, 3 catches for 59 yards is Parker Wixo. From there, you have 2 catches for 20 yards for Haug. Lorenz, 2 catches for 18. Cotton, 3 catches for 19 yards and a score. Holland has 2 catches for 14 yards, and then Cruchet with 1 catch for 8 yards so far individually for Central Cass. For the Devils Lake Firebirds, Exner, 8 carries for 51, make that 31 yards. 8 carries for 31 yards so far here tonight for Exner. Heilman, 3 carries, he's got 12 yards, and Palmer, 2 carries for -2 yards. Fee, 2 carries for 1 yard. Mason Palmer through the air, 11 of 16 for 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Max Palmer, 3 catches for 72 yards. Nelson, 2 for 19. Heilman, 2 for 21 and a score. Exner with 2 catches for 18 yards and a receiving touchdown. Jordan Levitt, 1 catch for 13 yards, and Encinas, 1 catch for 13 yards as well here for the Devils Lake Firebirds. That's a look at the first half numbers alongside your individual numbers here today on our Farmers Union Insurance Wazleen Kramer halftime show. When we come back, we'll take a look at the first half out-of-town scoreboard. That is next here on your live event.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
When you think about North Dakota State College of Science, don't think about college. Don't think about desks. Don't think about buildings. Don't think about our expert instructors or our high-tech classrooms. Think about that new pickup you'll soon be driving. Think about decorating your first apartment. Think about that great job that's already waiting for you. Then, think about how you'll be doing all of those things in just 2 years. North Dakota State College of Science, the smarter way to college.
Hi, we're Tommy's Express. Scan the QR code for a fast pass to a free month of washing. Our modern car wash offers a bright, open environment and a low-stress conveyor belt entry. Our signature scent, ceramic body wax, spot-free rinse, and heated blowers give you the best shine in town. Check out the wash for yourself. Washing your car is easy, fast, and fun. Visit Tommy's Express today.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting section, and check out their different paint mixing options from Benjamin Moore, Clark and Kensington, and Royal. From their grills to Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to the Customer Laser Engraving Center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
As we continue here on our Farmers Union Insurance Wazleen Kramer Agency halftime show, here's a look at some finals across the state, and also games are in the second half. A final, Watford City crushes Wahpeton tonight, 39-12. Wolves over the Huskies, 39-12, a final out in Watford. Minot North leads Fargo South by 7, 14-7 at the half at Fargo South. Number 1 team right now getting a good test against Fargo South. Grand Forks Central on the road, start of the second half, leads Jamestown 19-7 Knights over the Blue Jays. Kindred with 3 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, lead by 8 over Horace, 34-26. That's 2A versus 3A. Grand Forks Red River leads over Bismarck St. Mary's 14-7. 8 minutes left to go in the third, and Dickinson all over Williston, 42-love at the half. That is in Double-A football here tonight. Some scores in Single-A. Park River area over Rugby, 16-0 in the third quarter. Velva, Garrison, Drake, Anamoose lead Stanley 30-0 at the half. Northern Cass and Lisbon tied at 6 at the half. Oaks up by 5 over Hillsborough Central Valley right before the half. And also some other scores. Valley City leads Sargent County 16-8 in the first half of play in Single-A football. Triple-A football, West Fargo leading Bismarck Legacy at the half by 8, 21-13. Shanley all over Mandan, 27-6 at the half in Mandan. Fargo Davies up by 10 over Century in the third quarter of play. For some scores in 11 3A here tonight. Hankinson all over Enderlin at the half, 49-0 in 9-man football. Lemoore Litchfield Marion shutting out Weimar Lidgewood 48-0 at the half in 9-man football. Also in 9-man football here tonight, New Rockford Cheyenne Maddox 60, Larimore 6 at the half in 9-man football. That's a look at your out-of-town scoreboard here tonight on yourliveevent.com. Central Cass 14, Devils Lake 13. We'll put a bow on our halftime show. Brought to you in part by Farmers Union Insurance Wazleen Kramer Agency when we return here in Castleton.
If you're ready to save time, aggravation, and money, the team at Weber Insurance is here and ready to make the process as painless as possible. Weber Insurance makes sure you find the best insurance because their agency is 100% independent. They have the freedom to shop the marketplace and find the best possible combination of cost and coverage. Talk with Dan, Carol, Leslie, or Craig to get a quote started today, or go online to weberinsurance.net. Call, click, text, or stop in at Weber Insurance, locally owned in Castleton.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
This is Chris from Agassi Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. How did your planting season go this year? Are you looking to make improvements for next year instead of breaking the bank on a whole new planter? Get the best price of the year on upgrades for your planter from Agassi Precision Ag this summer. Get $50 back per row per product for some of our best-selling solutions. Make the precision decision for your planter this summer. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com for more information.
High school football here today on yourliveevent.com. On our halftime show, quick update for you at West Fargo Horace. It's been a good one between the number 2 team in 2A and receiving votes in 3A, West Fargo Horace. It's Kindred 34, West Fargo Horace 26. 2 minutes left to play. Horace has the ball at the 50-yard line. You can watch that game on yourliveevent.com. Dan Gunderson has a call for you on that one at West Fargo Horace. Here in this contest, it's been a little bit of everything so far. You've had 6 possessions here for Devils Lake, a punt, a turnover on downs, fumble, touchdown, interception, touchdown. While for the Central Cass Squirrels, they've also had 6 possessions, touchdown, turnover on downs, interception, turnover on downs, punt, and a touchdown so far here in this first half for Central Cass. A little history for the Firebirds, a team in the late 2000s, the early 2010s. They were the team that consistently made the Dakota Bowl. 3 out of 4 years they made it to state, but all 3 years they were the bridesmaid, never the bride, losing to Shanley twice and Oak Grove back in 2007. Here for the Devils Lake Firebirds. They've been to the championship. They've never won a state championship when it comes to high school football. Well, for the Central Cass Squirrels, including their season-opening win against Watford City, 4 years and a game, the Squirrels are 37-9 since the 2021 season. Here for Central Cass, their state championship coming back in 1980 over Watford City as champs of Class B, 26-12. There's a little history for you as we put a bow on our halftime show, brought to you in part by our friends at Farmers Union with Wasleen Kramer Agency. Get in touch with Scott and Tyler throughout the week here in Castleton with Farmers Union Insurance. Chase Miller alongside Jacob Anderson and you on a Friday night. First Friday Night Lights in September. Oh, this is a fun time of the season. College football, the NFL is back in the saddle again. Volleyball is coming at you throughout the weekend as well. End-over-end kick going to be returned by Heilman at the 12. Heilman able to get to the 20-yard line. 25 has a crease. 30, 35, 40. Heilman hot steps to the 50, and he gets taken down at the 47-yard line. So far, special teams have been large for Devils Lake and Heilman with a couple of good returns. The Firebirds will start the second half in Central Cass territory. Ball will be at the 46-yard line, and for the third time today, Devils Lake will start in positive territory. So for the Firebirds, Mason Palmer, the 6-foot senior, will come out in a pistol. Twins to the left, one to the right-handed side. Central Cass, a 4-down lineman, handoff Exner. Exner to the 45, and Exner going to get met, and eventually a wholesale of Squirrels will come in for a tackle as Exner gets about 4 yards on the rush. 9 carries for 35 yards. That is about the definition of team tackling on the play. 2nd down and 6 upcoming here for Devils Lake, and the Firebirds want to control the clock a little bit. run the football, find ways to throw with Mason when it's an option. But if you can get 4 or 5 yards, they're going to take it. And we'll have a false start or someone jump off sides. It's either the right guard and Quam false started, or you had a lineman for Central Cass get in the zone and be an encroachment and be 5 yards on someone. The question is who, and it's going to be a false start on the team clad in white tonight here in Devils Lake. 5 penalties for 25 yards for the Firebirds. Wearing those red helmets, the Firebird emblem on either side. Central Cass, the red tops with the white helmets, the red and black stripe. Got the numeral and the logo on either side here for the Squirrels. Just over 11 minutes to play here in the third quarter on the Bank North scoreboard. Twins to the left-handed side and one to the right-handed side. Shotgun formation here for Mason Palmer. Palmer, play action, fires, far sideline, caught at the 40, and able to get close to a first down on the play. Here is Weston Nelson. Going to give him 10 on the play as Palmer now has 161 yards passing. Nelson 3 catches for 29 yards, but it makes it a third and very manageable 1 on the play after being 2nd and 11. For both teams, we've kind of seen that little 5 to 10 yard stick route here tonight. A good chunk for either Kegley throwing the ball for the Squirrels or here for Palmer. Now for Devils Lake. 3rd and 1. Heilman, motion man in the backfield, orbit motion. They will hand this one off to Fee. Fee at the 35-yard line, and Fee 5 full for a yard and 2. Able to get 2 on the play. 3 carries now for 3 yards. 4 different players have rushed tonight here for Devils Lake of Mason Palmer, Heilman, Fee, and Exner. And Mason is someone who can run the football, but he's really looking down the field to strike through the air if he can. 2 minutes have surpassed so far on the opening drive of the second half. Devils Lake with a first down at the 35 of Central Cass. Shotgun looking for a double move. Palmer lobs it in the air, and this one will be incomplete. They had Heilman on the double move as Palmer with the pump fake came back and tried to loft it up there for Heilman to run underneath it, and even the wind that's blowing in couldn't bat it down to allow Heilman to get underneath it. Central Cass, quite frankly, just dodged a bullet. We've seen the double move for both teams here tonight coming out with it. We just haven't really seen someone convert on a 30, 40-yard play, but both teams have tried it at different times here in the contest. Play clock under 10. Pistol formation for Palmer. Fee, the motion man, Exner gets the ball, and the Squirrels will wrap him up for about a 2-yard gain. Able to come on the far side here is Lane Watterson, the sophomore. That's about a gain of 2. 10 carries for 37 yards here for Exner. So third, ball at the 33, going to be a long 8. 3rd and a long 8 here for Devils Lake. 4-down territory unless you get a sack or something bad happens here. You got to think for the Firebirds. If you don't get the first down on this play. Twins left, 1 right. Fee, the tight end, he will go out and release. They roll the pocket to Palmer. Palmer steps up, fires, finds a man. That's caught at the 20 and taken out of bounds to the 16 here by Heilman. Heilman at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on the play. So for Heilman, his 3rd catch of the game for 38 yards. He has a touchdown. And from a Devils Lake point of view, I like rolling Mason Palmer out, giving him that option to run or throw, move the pocket a little bit. We've seen Central Cass get some pressure on Mason when he just takes a 3-step drop. 1st and 10 here for the Firebirds. Handoff, Exner. Exner at the 15-yard line, and coming in on the tackle is going to look to be in Quam. And then Quam right now holding his head a little bit here at the 13-yard line. So that'll be a gain on the play of about 3 yards as Quam right now looking to come off the field. I had a chin strap loose is what you just kind of hope a little bit, as he will come out of the game here for the senior who led the team in tackles in game number 1. And now Central Cass will have to bring out in Ferguson, a senior, to come out quickly here. 2nd and 7, 3.5 minutes on this drive so far for the Firebirds. Handoff, Exner. Exner gets the 10, makes a cut. Exner Gets to about the 7-yard line as Nelson comes in on the tackle. It's a gain of 5 on the play. 45 yards here for Exner. A lot of them have been hard-earned yards as well here for the Firebirds. 3rd and 1 again here for Devils Lake on this drive. Devils Lake with a score, looking to take their first lead of the game. One wide receiver left and inside, twins to the right. Exner behind Palmer in that pistol formation. They will hand this one off to Exner. Exner's going to get met up high. Exner tries to keep the pile moving. I don't think he got anywhere. Coming in on the tackle immediately was Aiden Thummel. Then he was able to get a good team rapport as well, and they're actually going to have about a half-yard loss on the play. So make it back to the 8-yard line, and it's a 4th and 2 upcoming here for Devils Lake. Good really pop there by the senior Thummel to hold him up and allow his teammates to come in and tackle him. 4th down and short here for the Firebirds. 4th and a long 2. They need the 6 for the first. One wide receiver left. They will come trips to a near side in a bunch formation. Palmer rolls the pocket, right-handed side. Palmer fires, throws, got a man at the 2-yard line. That's Drone Levitt with the first down. Cruchet comes in on the tackle, but it's a gain of 6 and a 1st and goal here for Devils Lake. As you're able to see that coming across for Drone Levitt, his 2nd catch for 16 yards. And here's the theme of this drive, moving the pocket a little bit more for Palmer. And just finding a man that's coming across on a little drag route, if you will, makes it 1st and goal. Wide receiver split out either side. Devils Lake hands this one off. Heilman trying to find Exner behind him, plowing his way into the end zone. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Firebirds from 3 yards out. And Devils Lake takes their first lead of the game at 19-14 here midway through the 3rd. 4 carries for 15 yards and a score for the Firebirds. And now will they go for 1 or go for 2 after a missed point after attempt to end the half by Mason Palmer. You'd think you'd go for 2 here on this situation to try to get it to a full 7 points, and that's exactly what they will. So 2-point conversion here for Devils Lake. As they will come out shotgun formation, Palmer rolling right-handed side the pocket, looks in the back of the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is good to his twin brother Max, and the Firebirds take a 7-point lead. 6:37 left to play in the 3rd quarter on the Bank North scoreboard. Devils Lake up by 7.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
High school football here today on YourLiveEvent.com. The Devils Lake Firebirds took 5 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock, going 46 yards. That has resulted in a touchdown. 3 of the last 4 possessions here for Central Cass has resulted in a touchdown here so far in this contest. For the Central Cass Squirrels, this will be their first crack at it offensively in the 2nd half. Exner, right-footed kick, end over end. This will bounce at the 15, and Blix will see this go out of bounds. That was close. That's one where you pick it up and go, or you hope that it takes the bounce and off the turf it goes the right way if you're a Central Cass fan, and it did. So it'll be a flag on the play here for the Devils Lake Firebirds. And this is situations where you can force them to re-kick or you can take the ball. And it looks like they're going to take the ball at the 35-yard line. So 6th penalty of the game, but this will give Central Cass their 2nd best starting field position of the game, their best on their side of the 50. As with 6:36 left to play here in the 3rd quarter on the Bank North scoreboard. See what Central Cass can do offensively here in this one. High school football here tonight on YourLiveEvent.com, and this has been a 1-score game throughout. Wide receiver to the near sideline, handoff will go to Crochet. Crochet looks to spin, and a couple of Firebirds were in there with Fee and also Encinas. Good to see Encinas back in the game here for Devils Lake, but Fee was right there to wrap him up high and bring Cruchet down for a 2-yard gain. Cruchet 13 carries for 58 yards here in this one. As the Squirrels quickly to the line. Motion man goes Cotton right to left in the slot. Hand off Cruchet. Cruchet gets the 40, and Cruchet then, the right hand on the play, coming in to bring him down is Luke Wasness. Wasness with the right hand able to go high to the shoulder pad and bring Cruchet down. If he misses, Cruchet gets past the 40 and probably has a chance for a first. Instead, it's a 2-yard gain. Third down on the play. Trips tight to the far side here for the Squirrels. Ball at the near hash. They need the 45 for the first. Kegley steps up. Ball gets deflected. Caught at the 41-yard line or incomplete. They're going to say incomplete as it hit the turf. Cotton unable to get his hands underneath it. And it's a 4th and 6 here for Central Cass. So 4th down upcoming here for the Squirrels. We've seen one punt tonight for Central Cass, but it looks like they will go for it here at their own 39-yard line. See if Devils Lake brings some pressure. Play clock to 20. Twins left, one to the right-handed side. Pistol formation for Kegley. Devils Lake, they'll bring 6. Kegley rolls, left-handed side, steps up, fires down the middle, looking for a man, caught at the 35-yard line. Oh, what a catch here for Central Cass with Mason Olson. Olson, how do you do for a gain of 26? Olson with his first catch, and what a time to do it. The 7th receiver here for the Squirrels, who at least has one reception here tonight. First down and 10. Kegley looking. Kegley pocket breaking down. Kegley looking. Fires. Looking to Cruchet at the 35-30, 25-20, and he is loose. Cruchet, touchdown, Central Cass. 35 yards, Kegley to Cruchet, and just like that on back-to-back completions, the Squirrels have a house call. 2 receptions for 43 yards and a touchdown here for Cruchet. Kegley was looking, searching, and finally found a man open on the near side, and nobody had Cruchet on the play as we have an injured Firebird back at the line of scrimmage. We'll take a break with him here on your liveevent.com. Squirrels are back within 1.
23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Kegley again just kind of was bouncing around like a rabbit back there, and finally look left and look right as Devils Lake coming after his own pressure. Coming off the field here will be Isaac Woodhall. So Woodhall will come off the field as Central Cass Squirrels answers the opening touchdown by Devils Lake in the half with an opening touchdown of their own here in the second half. Back-to-back completions, one that goes 26 yards on 4th down to Olson and the other that goes 35 yards to Cruchet, has allowed the Squirrels to get back within 1 and either go for 2 or go for the point after attempt, and Bukow will come on here for the PAT. Let's to tie the game at 21 apiece. Clean snap, the hold, the right-footed kick by Bukow splits the uprights, and it's good. New score on the Bank North scoreboard. Been kept busy in the second half. 21 all, 5 minutes left to play here in the third.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
For Central Cass, they wasted a little time, 1:36 seconds. That goes 65 yards as they get the touchdown here in this contest. here on high school football on yourliveevent.com. It just kind of has the feeling, and we could see these two teams possibly in a postseason matchup. Top 4 teams from each region make it to state. 12 seconds left to go at Horace. It's Kindred 34, Horace 32. 34-32 Kindred, and looks like the Kindred Vikings are going to come out with a victory as they just made a stop. So Kindred will improve to 2-0 on the season. Here's a little squib kick, and Devils Lake will pick it up at the 34, and probably the smart call after Heilman had back-to-back really long returns. As Jamison Hansen, the sophomore on the hands team, able to get his hand on the football. Ball will be at the 34-yard line. 8th possession of the game here for the Devils Lake Firebirds. And with 4:57 left to play, they will have it at the near hash here for Devils Lake. This will be at the 34-yard line. Palmer in the shotgun formation. Twins left, one to the right-handed side. Central Cass 3 down lineman. Little play action by Exner, and going down. Eventually will be a sack on the play, if you will, as Evan Wiersma comes in. Just unable to keep his balance there was Palmer, and that'll be a loss of 7. That was similar to Strahan and Brett Favre on that record sack, maybe. Similar to that for some fans out there. As you see, it's 2nd and 17 upcoming. Regardless, though, big defensive play to begin things off here for Central Cass. Palmer in the shotgun formation. Clean snap, has some time. Palmer with all day to throw. Palmer looking down the field. Palmer's going to keep it. Gets to 35 and at the 36. And that could have nearly been an extra little bit of a hit on that play. Ball will be at the 36, and it's a gain of 9 yards on the play. So Palmer will get the 9 and some back on the play as it makes it a 3rd down and a long 8. So after the sack, Palmer able to get 9 yards, brings up 3rd and 8. They will need the 44 for a 1st down. Last year it was a one-possession game, 34-27. This one has the makings of a 2.0 version right now between these two teams. Been tied or been a one-score game. Palmer looking. Here comes a delay blitz. Palmer right-handed side at the 30. Pops the pass. It's bobbled. Caught by Exner, and Exner holds on at the 45 to drag the pile with him to the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards. So Exner, 3 receptions for 30 yards on the play. As you just take a look at Palmer, once he gets past that tackle box, that's where he becomes ever more dangerous. Sometimes you ask coaches, do you want to keep a quarterback in the pocket? I think for Mason Palmer, the answer is yes, more times than not. Timeout on the field by Devils Lake, their first. This timeout brought to you in part by Taupe Insurance in Castleton. We're back with more after this here on your live event.
When you think about North Dakota State College of Science, don't think about college. Don't think about desks. Don't think about buildings. Don't think about our expert instructors or our high-tech classrooms. Think about that new pickup you'll soon be driving. Think about decorating your first apartment. Think about that great job that's already waiting for you. Then, think about how you'll be doing all of those things in just 2 years. North Dakota State College of Science, the smarter way to college.
Time on the field brought to you in part by Taupe Insurance. Get in touch with Ryan in Castleton for a quote or review of your policies. Give them a call at 701-347-4045. That's 347-4045 with Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Chase Miller and Jacob Hansen with you here on a cool, brisk-ish kind of a Friday night. And what has been, quite simply put, a barn burner between these two teams so far here this evening. First time out here by the Firebirds in this second half. Central Cass with all 3 remaining. Twins right, 1 to the near sideline here. 3 down linemen for the Central Cass Squirrels as Palmer will be in the pistol with Exner behind him. Motion man is Heilman. Handoff goes to Exner. Exner makes a man miss, makes another, gets to the 50-yard line. Then a host of Squirrels come in on the tackle. About a gain of 3 on the play as they're able to get 3 yards here for Exner. 14 carries for 47 yards. Exner maybe isn't that playmaker that's going to go from first to third gear in a shift, but the one thing he does, he's looking for contact and he goes north to south. He's going to get yards. So if you're tackling him, it's more than likely going to take 1, 2, or 3 players to try to bring him down with the kind of lunch pail mentality he runs with. 2nd and 7 for Devils Lake shotgun. Palmer, QB keeper. Palmer right-handed side. The Squirrel defense does a good job stretching this one out. As Palmer, if he can break it to the edge, he's got some speed. He does get a gain of 2 to bring up 3rd down and 5. Devils Lake at the Squirrel 47. They'll need the Central Cass 42 for the first down. Central Cass coming off a season-opening win over Watford City 41-14. Devils Lake coming off a season-opening loss in Kindred 42-12. Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers. Near sideline Fee lines up to the right at the tight end spot. Play action to Exner. Palmer pocket evades. Palmer rolling near sideline, getting chased, steps up, fires. This will be, is it caught in bounds? Yes, it is. He tiptoes on the near sideline. What a catch here from Devils Lake and Max Palmer. The twin connection comes up large for a gain of 6. They had him dead to rights in the backfield. Max with his first reception of the second half. 4 receptions for 83 yards. Normally when you're running backwards, good things don't happen in football, but that time Mason Palmer showed you his gun, and Max able to, Chris Carter would be proud on the tiptoe on the near sideline. 1st and 10 here for Devils Lake at the Squirrels 42. Double move, Palmer going down the middle, caught by Heilman, who takes a stick. And losing his helmet is Colton Cruchet. What a hit by Cruchet. It's a gain of 18 yards. So Heilman gets his 4th catch, but he had to pay for it now with 56 yards. That might be the hardest hit of the season. And we'll take a quick break here as it looks like Heilman is getting worked on a little bit. Just looks to be a cramp from our vantage point. We'll break with him on your live event.
Hi, we're Tommy's Express. Scan the QR code for a fast pass to a free month of washing. Our modern car wash offers a bright, open environment and a low-stress conveyor belt entry. Our signature scent, ceramic body wax, spot-free rinse, and heated blowers give you the best shine in town. Check out the wash for yourself. Washing your car is easy, fast, and fun. Visit Tommy's Express today.
High school football here today on yourliveevent.com. Heilman able to come up under his own pressure, but what a stick by Cruchet. That might be the hardest hit of the football season at any level. And Jacob Anderson, our cameraman, goes, who hits someone that hard and loses their own helmet? Not so hard he hit him. But regardless, Devils Lake knocking on the door here. Palmer with a couple of nice completions. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 22-yard line, 2:30 and counting here on the Bank North scoreboard in quarter number 3. Shotgun formation, Palmer looks, fires down the field for Max Palmer, and this is incomplete. And Max couldn't quite get there. Defensively is Keaton Link, the junior, in on the coverage. That'll stop the clock. 219 yards here for Mason Palmer in this second half alone. He's 6 of 8 through the air here for Mason. We've seen the 1-2 combination be an Exner run and a Palmer throw. That's pretty much been the playbook here. A little bit of Heilman, a little bit of Fee sprinkled in, but it's been a lot of the Mason Palmer and so far Exner in the backfield with those two here tonight for the Devils Lake Firebirds on the offensive side. Well, it's a nice 1-2 combination to have, especially when you can get Exner going. Mason Palmer going to tuck and run, and Palmer is wrapped up, and that's going to be back for a 2-yard sack. Coming in is Ben Nelson, already with a pick tonight. Gets a sack sandwich, and it's a loss of 2. Good job by Nelson not coming completely up the field. Able to stay home a little bit, waiting for Mason, almost baiting him to come down his alley. Able to wrap him up. Makes it 3rd down upcoming. And this is 4-down territory here for Devils Lake. What was wind blowing in from the north has subsided here tonight from where it was earlier here tonight, but you're not going to see Mason Palmer trying to kick a 40-yard field goal. Play clock goes down to 5. Firebirds trips to the right, one to the left. Mason Palmer, here comes the quarterback. Steps up in the play to the 25, fires, throws, incomplete for Exner. Might have heard a Vuvuzela in the stands on that one, as it brings up now a 4th and 11. So ball will stop at 129. Wasn't an air horn, but it kind of had a little bit of a, might be in the student section. Regardless, 89 seconds left to play here in quarter number 3. Brings up a 4th down upcoming. Just the second possession of the half here for Devils Lake. 3rd combined between them and the Squirrels. You saw 6 possessions each in the first half. Second half a little bit different. How many times are going to get a crack at it? 7 seconds, down to 5. Firebirds got to go, hurry. They've already burned 1 timeout. They're at 3, they're at 2. They get the playoff. Palmer steps up, fires, throws in the end zone, has a man in the end zone. This is incomplete. They brought the outside linebacker in. Incomplete as they were looking for Kobe Drone-Levitt on the far side, and the Firebirds unable to capitalize as it'll be a turnover on downs. Central Cass will get their 8th possession of the game. They'll start at their own 24-yard line here. And that was close. You saw the pressure, and that's exactly where Palmer threw the ball. Just maybe a skosh of an air underneath it, just a little bit more, would have allowed him to be a touchdown. But instead, a turnover on downs, and the Squirrels will get their 2nd possession here of this second half. Kegley to Crochet for 35 yards on a touchdown on the receiving end on the last offensive play here for Central Cass. Tied at 7, and now tied at 21. Kegley has some time, steps up down the middle, looking this off the hands of Cotton at midfield. If Cotton catches that one, he still might be running. Instead, it's a 2nd and 10. So both teams can say they've dodged a bullet on back-to-back plays here. Cotton, a 6'1" sophomore at 175, and the one thing that Devils Lake has done throughout the majority of the game, they're not playing with a safety over the top. So it's man pressure. If you can beat your man, you can have some daylight and run for a while as Cotton motions, looking for him on the bubble. Cotton gets the numbers to 25, and he's got about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. As Cotton, 4 catches now for 20 yards, and I think we get another cramp on the play. This one will be from the Central Cass variety. We'll break with them. 62 seconds left to play in quarter number 3.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting section, and check out their different paint mixing options from Benjamin Moore, Clark and Kensington, and Royal. From their grills to Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to the Customer Laser Engraving Center. Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
If you're ready to save time, aggravation, and money, the team at Weber Insurance is here and ready to make the process as painless as possible. Weber Insurance makes sure you find the best insurance because their agency is 100% independent. They have the freedom to shop the marketplace and find the best possible combination of cost and coverage. Talk with Dan, Carol, Leslie, or Craig to get a quote started today, or go online to weberinsurance.net. Call, click, text, or stop in at Weber Insurance, locally owned in Castleton.
As we get to our out-of-town scoreboard here in AA football, games that have gone final. Watford City over Wahpeton, 39-12. Wolves over the Huskies. Also, number 2 in 2A, Kindred defeats 3A West Fargo Horace, 34-2. That game went down to the wire at Horace. The Vikings come out on top. Some other scores, 3 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Minot North 21, Fargo South 7. That game at Fargo South. Grand Forks Central leads Jamestown 32-7 starting quarter number 4. Red River over Bismarck St. Mary's 14-7 late in the fourth quarter. And Dickinson pitching a shutout against Williston. It's 49-0 Dickinson over Williston. 11A football, some games that have gone final. Des Lacs Burlington over Tioga 40-0. Velva Garrison Drake and Moose over Stanley 44-0. That game has gone final as well. A couple of games that are close. Lisbon leads Northern Cass 14-6. 7 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. That's a look at your out-of-town scoreboard. 3rd and 8 here for the Squirrels. 2 wide receivers left and right. Kegley in the gun. Kegley has time going down the field. This will be incomplete over the outstretched arms of Cruchet at the 50. The Squirrels were close twice on this drive for big plays down the middle, and we've seen them hit the boundary. Now they're trying to get a little bit towards the middle of the hashes here, and that'll bring up a punting situation for just the second time tonight here for Central Cass, that they will elect to punt this football away. The senior Felighty will come on as he's back at his own 13-yard line. Heilman and Drone Levitt back here for Devils Lake. Right-footed kick off the side of the foot of Felighty. They'll take a squirrel bounce to the 40 and keep rolling to about the 43-yard line. So they get a fortunate bounce to the 44 for a punt of 18, which off the foot looked like it was going to be about a punt of 5 yards. But they do get a little extra room on the bounce. But Devils Lake yet again will have positive field position for the 4th time. They will start in Central Cass territory. So 35.4 seconds left to play here in quarter number 4. Devils Lake looking for their second lead of the contest. Mason Palmer in the gun. Motion man right to left his feet. Central Cass going to bring 4. Handoff goes to Exner. Exner to the 40-yard line, and Exner is taken down at about the 37-yard line for a gain of 7. And Devils Lake can run this to the fourth quarter if they wish. Very workmanlike kind of a game for Exner. 15 carries for 54 yards. And it looks like the Firebirds are content to hold on to this and go to quarter number 4. On the Bank North scoreboard, after 3 quarters of play, it's Central Cass 21, the Devils Lake Firebirds 21 as well. It's been a dandy through 3 quarters of football. We got 12 minutes left to regulation when we return on a full moon kind of a night on yourliveevent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner 3. Good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Mentioned the full moon here tonight on yourliveevent.com, and it is fully out here in this one as we're tied up at 21 apiece. So what are we going to get in store as we head back to the field here with the Devils Lake Firebirds? Going to have a 2nd down and 3 upcoming here against the Central Cass Squirrels. If you're just joining us, Central Cass led 7-0 after 1 quarter play. Squirrels were up 14-13 after the first half. And Devils Lake took the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, got a touchdown, got the 2-point to take a 7-point lead. Squirrels came back to tie it at 21, and that's where we are here with the final 12 minutes of regulation. 2 timeouts remaining for Devils Lake, 3 here for Central Cass. 2nd and 3 upcoming. Mason Palmer, shotgun formation. Handoff, gives it to Exner, left-handed side. Exner's going to get the first down as he was able to get to the boundary. A missed tackle on the play, and that allows Exner to get to the 30. We'll mark it at the 33-yard line for a gain of 4. This has the feeling of who might have the ball last could possibly win this one. For the Devils Lake Firebirds, this is their 3rd possession of the second half. First and 10 here for Devils Lake, as they will give it to Heilman. Heilman has a little bit more of the speed, if you want to call it lightning and thunder. Exner brings the thunder. Heilman brings the lightning. That's a gain of 9. There is a flag in the back, and we'll see if this is maybe with how Devils Lake is talking about. It could be possibly on Central Cass. So it's currently a gain of 9, and it'll be after the play a personal foul penalty on Central Cass. So gain of 9 here for Heilman. I was watching the football, so I did not see the play, but after the whistle, someone must have finished their block. If you are a defensive lineman trying to get over the offensive lineman, trying to get around the block, but regardless, it's a penalty on Central Cass. So ball was at the 23-yard line. They'll mark it about 12 yards, or the 22. So they'll mark it about 11 yards on the play. And now it's nearly a first and goal opportunity here for Devils Lake. They can get a first down at the 1. As they will mark it for first and 10. Heilman looking to get to the crease. Heilman to the outside, and he gets wrapped up on the play as Hunter Domeyer will come in on the tackle. If Domeyer's not able to grab him, Heilman might have been able to stretch that to the numbers and try to get in the end zone. It's a gain of 2. Heilman, 6 carries, now for 24 yards. 2nd and 8 ball at the 9-yard line. Pistol formation, Twins to the left-handed side. They're telling the corners to step up a little bit. Handoff goes to Exner. Exner makes a cut. Exner gets the 6, and he is met there for a gain of about 2 yards, maybe 3. We'll give him 3 on the play. And here is kind of where Devils Lake has lived a lot in this second half. 3rd and medium to 3rd and short opportunities. Kind of been in that 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 4 range. Getting some positive traction on 1st and 2nd down as Devils Lake going to that Central Cass student section here. We'll see it 3rd down here for the Firebirds. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right-handed side. Shotgun formation. Exner in the backfield with Palmer. Play clock at 7. They get the play off. Little play action. Fires, throws to the outside. That is caught in the end zone or down at the half-yard line. Down at the half-yard line, it's a gain of 5 3/4. As right now they're going to talk it over here and get a official's timeout. So that goes Mason Palmer to Max Palmer. And we've seen a lot of cramps in this second half, and I think we're going to see it yet again. It's a 5-yard pitch and catch, 1st and goal for Devils Lake when we return here on yourliveevent.com.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. How did your planting season go this year? Are you looking to make improvements for next year instead of breaking the bank on a whole new planter? Get the best price of the year on upgrades for your planter from Agassiz Precision Ag this summer. Get $50 back per roll per product for some of our best-selling solutions. Make the precision decision for your planter this summer. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com for more information.
9:50 left to play in the 4th quarter here on yourliveevent.com. 21-all here in this contest. This timeout brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual. Get in contact with Lindsey Johnson in the game at Cass County Mutual as they provide insurance products to all of southeastern North Dakota. To find an agent near you, go to CassCountyMutual.com. That again is CassCountyMutual.com. Nice catch on the outside by Max Palmer from his twin Mason. Able to get the first down. As Max Palmer, the 5'11 senior, 5 catches for 88 yards here tonight in this one. Still being attended to. We've seen in this second half for both of these teams just cramping a little bit more. But regardless, Max will come off the field. It'll be 1st and goal opportunity for Devils Lake. Firebirds tried a quick QB sneaker in the first half on this very half-yard line. They fumbled the football. We'll see what they do on this one. Pretty much the only time we've seen Devils Lake go under center so far here tonight. 1st and goal, handoff Exner. Exner up the middle, trying to plow his way into the end zone. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown, Firebirds. Well, it's a half-yard on the rush. The second charge by Exner. Able to get in the end zone. 18 carries for 62 yards and a score, and Devils Lake takes their second lead of the contest here at 27-21. As Mason Palmer comes on for the point after attempt, he's 1 of 2 so far today on PATs. 1 of 3 here on the season. Max Palmer, who just came out of the game, has to come back into the game and hold. Clean snap. They get some pressure on the outside, and Max Palmer takes a hit. As they were trying to go for the block, Aiden Thummel comes in and clobbers Max Palmer. And this will be a flag on the play and probably tack it on to the kickoff here, but we'll see what Devils Lake elects to do. The point after attempt was good. This will be after the play, a personal foul here on Central Cass. And it looks like they will apply this to the kickoff. They will. We're back with more after this. Don't go anywhere. Devils Lake up by 7 here in the 4th quarter.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
A drive that takes just over 3 minutes, goes 44 yards. Devils Lake, 3 possessions in this second half. Touchdown, turnover on downs, and touchdown as they take the lead and take that 15-yard penalty on Central Cass. It'll be their 6th of the game now for 52 yards, and Devils Lake will kick the football off at the 45-yard line. As Todd Lambrick, the head coach, just making sure he's getting the ruling here on this one. So if you're Devils Lake, you're almost in a spot where if you want to squib or onside it, this is the time to do so, because if you go 10 yards, you give it at the 35-yard line. Final for you, Twins diehards out there. The Royals 2, Twins 1. That's gone final. I wonder if there was more than 5,000 in attendance tonight at Target Field. I was paid. We'll see what happens here. Devils Lake with Exner puts the ball on the tee at the Squirrel 45, and he will kick this one in the end zone, and it will be a touchback, our first one of the night. Put that on your football bingo card here on a Friday night, as will be first down upcoming here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Squirrels with their 3rd possession of the half, a touchdown and a punt here in the second half for Central Cass. 9th possession of the game for the Squirrels. And with the way this game has been going, you probably feel like maybe one extra possession you might get if you're a Squirrels fan. You got all 3 timeouts, but if you don't score on this one, Devils Lake has been shown to eat 4 or 5 minutes off the clock, respectively. Pistol formation here for Kegley. Motion man goes Cotton right to left across the formation here for the Squirrels. Handoff. Cruchet, a lane opens up. Cruchet spins, tries to get out of a tackle. Firebirds come in and gang tackle nicely. Cruchet gets a gain of 4 yards. That's Cruchet with the rush. 15 carries now for 64 yards. 2 wide receivers, both left and right. Devils Lake, 7 men in the box. Man coverage across. Kegley steps up, fires, throws. This is going to be caught at the 29-yard line as Parker Wixo is trying to get that second chance. Eventually coming up with a hit is going to be Jackson Strong, it looked like, there on the outside, and it is. Coming with the tackle is Drone Levitt. It's a gain of 5 yards. 4 catches for 64 yards now for Wixo. Makes it 3rd down and 1. Clock continues to wind here. 8:40 left to go on the Bank North scoreboard. Quarter number 4. They need the 30-yard line for the first. Handoff. Cruchet, right-handed side, has the first down, and then he's going to get met at the 32. It is a gain of 4 yards, and move the chains here for Central Cass. 16 carries for 68 yards as the Squirrels will have it between the hashes. Ball at the 33-yard line here for Central Cass. As Kegley, motion man, handoff. This one goes to Cruchet. Cruchet gets the 35-yard line. Kind of a 1-2 tandem combination on the play. And Taylor Longy coming in on part of the tackle here for Devils Lake. It's a gain of 2, brings up 2nd and 8. Trips to the right-handed side, 1 near sideline. Squirrels take a shot, or will they go maybe back to a bubble screen here? Motion man Blaze Cotton as he goes back to the outside. Going to that bubble screen, Cotton trying to make a man miss, and he's going to get met for a 2-yard loss. Weston Nelson with a tackle for a loss of 2. Cotton with his 5th reception of the night, now for 18 yards, 3rd and a long 10 here for the Squirrels. They need their 43 for a first down. Got trips to the left-handed side, 1 to the right-handed side. Pistol formation as Kegley with a clean snap, fires, throws. This one going to be caught to Holland. Holland gets to the 40-yard line and makes it 4th and 3. 7 yards on the catch. That has been a valuable asset here tonight for both teams, that little hitch route, or stick route, I guess. About 5 to 10 yards. We've seen it a bunch of times. 4th down and 3 here for Central Cass. Kegley trying to see if he can get a hard count. Play clock to 18 seconds. Looks to the near sideline, calls the play. As he gives the words to his offense. Handoff. This is the right-handed side, and the Squirrels get 10 yards. Central Cass with Nowitzki with a gain of 11. Second carry of the game. Nowitzki with a 3-yard rushing touchdown, and now an 11-yard rush. So it brings it 1st and 10 for the Squirrels on a 4th and 3. Quick little hitch. This is going to be caught at the 44-yard line here for Central Cass to Blaze Cotton. And Cotton's going to get about a gain of 4 on the play. Central Cass quickly to the line. Hands this one off. Cruchet up the middle, and Cruchet gets stoned. Cade Fee brings the lumber. That's right at the line. That's the old Oklahoma drill. Man in the middle, who's going to win? And Fee with the tackle up high, able to bring Cruchet down. Makes it 3rd and a long 6 here for Central Cass. Under 6 minutes to play here in quarter number 4 on the Bank North scoreboard. Motioning right to left across the formation. Here's Mason Olson. This will be caught right at the 40-yard line. Going to be 4th and about a yard. Coming away with this one, Parker Wixo, as that's a gain of 4 yards on the play. 5 catches for 68 yards for Wixo. 4th and a yard. 3 timeouts remaining for Central Cass. 2 remaining here for Devils Lake. 4th and a yard here for the Squirrels. They need the 39 for the first. Devils Lake man coverage across the top. See if they bring some pressure. 10 seconds on the play clock. Kegley in the gun. Kegley, QB keeper to the right side. Kegley breaks a tackle, tries to break another one, has the first down. Kegley able to plateau his way for 2 yards and make that on the far sideline for the first, and that is, on the play on the far side is Cruchet. So Cruchet, 19 carries for 72 yards, broke not 1 but 2 tackles to get the first down, going east to west. Regardless, the Squirrels will pick up the first. It was Kegley right now taking a look as the clock will continue to start here on this one. As a double move, this one down the middle of Cotton. Cotton with the catch of the 20 to the 10. He's taken down. And it will be close to a 1st and goal opportunity if they got him at the 10. It is a 1st and goal. That'll be a gain of 28 yards. So Cotton with his 7th catch of the game. He's got 50 yards as it goes across the middle. So twins to the left-handed side, one to the left-handed side, twins to the right. Handoff, Cruchet at the 10. Cruchet gets smet at about the 8, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 20 carries for 74 yards. Kegley, 245 yards passing. Central Cass needs 8 yards in the next 3 plays. Trips to the left, one to the right-handed side as we reach the 4-minute mark. Kegley looking, firing, caught. This is going to be at the 2-yard line, and it's going to be incomplete. I say that Gavin Tope just never able to keep possession of the football as he got hit. Then the ball came out. Only good thing for Central Cass with an incompletion right now is that it stops the clock if you're unable to get in the end zone. Well, for Devils Lake, they want to have that clock go, baby, go when you're up by 7, unless you give up the score. And we'll see a false start on the play. For the Squirrels, that's their 7th penalty of the game for 57 yards. And now it brings up 3rd and goal. Ball will be at the 13-yard line. If Devils Lake does have a stand, the Squirrels do have 3 timeouts remaining. So that's the good news from a Central Cass point of view if you're unable to get in the end zone here. Well, this has that feeling of 3rd and goal in the ball game here in the next 2 plays, potentially. Pistol formation for Kegley. Steps up, fires, goes to the outside. Parker Wixo with the catch. Wixo trying to get out of the tackle. It's to the 8-yard line for a gain of 5. Jordan Levitt comes in on the tackle. Cruchet now 6 receptions for 73 yards. 4th and goal here for Central Cass. They need 8 yards to get in the end zone. Twins both left and right. Cruchet in the backfield with Kegley on the near hash. Devils Lake brings 4. Kegley steps up in the middle. That's going to be incomplete. Was nearly picked off on the play here from Devils Lake by Longy. It's a turnover on downs. Clock will stop at 3:10. And Devils Lake will have it 1st and 10 at the 8-yard line here for the Firebirds. On that particular drive, took 6 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock. And Devils Lake, to this point, you get a 1st down to 2 first downs here. You pretty much have yourself the ball game unless it's on the very first play of the series. Devils Lake looking for the first. Central Cass looking for a quick 3-and-out as they hand the ball off to Exner here. Exner gets the pile going to the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 3. 19 carries for 65 yards here for Exner, and a timeout to stop the clock at 2:54 here in this 4th quarter of play. Timeout on the field brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual with 2:54 left here in the 3rd.
No job too big, no call too small. Bears Home Solutions handles it all. You need a Bear in there, oh yeah. Keeping homes just right with expert care. Let our stars guide you when repairs scare. You need a Bear in there.
Check out bearshomesolutions.com.
3 minutes left to play here in quarter number 4 on yourliveevent.com. It's 28-21. Timeout brought to you in part by Cass County Mutual, providing local service to all their policyholders. Visit CassCountyMutual.com. So both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. And for Devils Lake, you're looking for the 1st down. If you're Central Cass, looking to get it to 3rd and then try to get off the field. We'll see if Devils Lake potentially takes a shot through the air, or if you just keep it on the ground with Exner, Heilman, or Palmer. 2nd and 7, Firebirds hand this one off. This one goes to Heilman. Heilman gets to the 15-yard line before he stood up there. It is a gain of 4 yards. And another timeout on the field. So Heilman able to get his 7th carry, now for 28 yards. And Exner, again, kind of that Jerome Bettis, Mike Allstott bruising back. And then Heilman just comes in with a little extra speed. And if he hits that hole with a downhill mentality, he can kind of get that extra yard or 2. So a nice 1-2 combination on the play. Timeout brought to you in part by Taupe Insurance. We'll keep it here with 2:51 left to play in the 4th quarter. 2nd timeout here for Central Cass. On Devils Lake, you get this 1st down, you can pretty much nearly milk the game away if you get the 1st down here. And Central Cass calls a timeout if you say about 5 seconds in between plays. You get one more first, the ball game would be over if you can get it here. If you don't get it, Central Cass can call a timeout, 2:45, get the ball back, and see how many yards they have to go to try to tie or possibly go for 2 and take the win. But right now, all about 3rd and short at the 15. Firebirds looking to get to 1-1 on the season. And the Squirrels coming into tonight looking to get to 2-0. 3rd and 3. Here at their own 15. Handoff. Exner to the left-handed side. Needs 3 yards. He's trying to push. They're going to give him a yard. And Tommy Butler will come up, and that'll be a timeout. It'll be a yard and about a good half. It'll be 4th and short here for the Firebirds. So what do you want to do if you're Devils Lake? Do you elect to punt, or do you go for it And if you don't get it, it'll be first and the 16 in the red zone here. So Exner able to get a hard-earned about yard and a half on the play. As for the Firebirds, again, your quarterback is your punter. And you do have timeouts remaining. This could be one where you go up, you hard count them, try to see if you get a free 5 yards. That's pretty much not the ball game, but it'd be close with what you can do. If you punt this football away, I'd say it's about a 30-yard punt to have it at midfield here if you're Central Cass with no timeouts remaining. Third-ranked Central Cass going up against unranked Devils Lake here tonight. What has been an absolute treat of a high school football game early on the season for both of these two teams, but in terms of a fan watching. So Central Cass out of timeouts. Devils Lake looking to go for it here. As they come out in a wing tee, this is maybe a little punt formation as Palmer's going to go back to his own 5-yard line. Play clock down to 7. A little high snap. Palmer right-footed kick that'll go off the side of his foot. And now it's a matter of where's the football at. If it's at the 40 or possibly up a little more, and they're going to mark it at the 40-yard line. So you get a punt here for Devils Lake as Central Cass gets the stand they needed. They'll have 40 yards to go with 2:37 left to play in the fourth quarter and no timeouts. Devils Lake will have 2, but from the Squirrel point of view, you got your chance. Unable to get in the end zone last time on a turnover on downs. Defense did what it needed to do. Forced a 3-and-out, and the Squirrels now have the football back, and with 2:37, playbook is at your disposal, needing 40 yards. Cagley in the pistol. Cagley looking for the double move down the field, looking for Cotton and Wixel as they both nearly ran into each other at the 15-yard line. And looking for that little hitch and go, looking for that pump, trying to get that fake of the 5 yards and then try to hit the big shot down the field. Clock will stop with 2:32 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Quick little screen to the outside, and this one will go back to the line, and that's it. As on the far side of the play was Cotton. So Cotton, 8 catches in this one for 50 yards. Cagley fires, throws. This is going to be picked off at the 25 here by Devils Lake. It's Mason Palmer at the 25-yard line that comes away with the pick. And check that, coming away with it for Devils Lake will be Weston Nelson. Nelson comes away with the pick. So Nelson comes away with the interception with 2:06 left to play here in the fourth quarter. And for the Squirrels, that'll be their second turnover of the game via the interception. And now for the Devils Lake Firebirds, with 2:06 left to play, they can essentially try to milk this clock away and just let Mason dance a little bit in the backfield to take some extra time off this game, as Central Cass again is with 0 timeouts. Quick little injury or just a cramp on the field as Central Cass here with coming off the field will be Cotton, but now what Devils Lake needs to do, go in the shotgun, let Mason Palmer dance left or right to kill some extra time off the clock, and Devils Lake can get out of town with a 7-point victory as it stands right now, barring a turnover of some sorts here for the Firebirds. And if you're Central Cass, you're pretty much going there and going to try to rip the football away and see if you can get the ball back here from a Squirrel point of view. One wide receiver, either side shotgun formation here for the Firebirds. Palmer going to keep it, look, and then take a knee. And you start taking a look at when the play clock and the game clock starts going to about 1:20 before you have to snap the football again. And you do that play one more time, that exact same play, you can take another knee after it, and that'll put the book on this one. As long as Devils Lake waits to snap it right when it's about that 1 to 2 seconds left on the play clock. As they look on the far side to see what the play call will be. This is essentially a victory formation for the Firebirds, just looking to kill some extra time out of it. 2 seconds, 1 second. Palmer does the same thing, takes a knee. And take a look at the play clock and the game clock one more time with where the play clock is. You can take it to about that 41 seconds before you need to snap it, and you do the exact same play if you're Mason, and you will get out of town with a 28-21 road victory and take down the third-ranked team here in 2A football for Devils Lake. And this is a non-region game for both of these two teams, but you might see each other again later on in the season, potentially, with Devils Lake being in the West this season. Palmer back with the shotgun, looking, takes the knee, and that'll do it. As Devils Lake takes a look at where the play clock and the game clock stands right now, as the Central Cass Squirrels will come up short here in this one against the Devils Lake Firebirds, as Devils Lake scores the only points of the fourth quarter with an Exner 1-yard rushing touchdown to give them the 28-21 lead with a Palmer point after attempt, and Devils Lake improves to 1-1 on the season with a 28-21 victory here tonight in Castleton. With the loss, the Squirrels will drop to 1-1 on this season. With the win, the Firebirds improve to 1-1 on this season. Central Cass led by 7, then up by 1 after 1 half of play. Devils Lake took a 21-14 lead in the third. Squirrels came back to tie it at 21 apiece, and the lone scorer following that was an Exner 1-yard rushing touchdown. Your final here tonight in Castleton, Devils Lake 28, Central Cass 21. We're back with more on our postgame show after this.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. At Castleton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Castleton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Castleton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
As we come back to our players of the game and to our play of the contest here in this particular matchup on our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show. Love your ride at your locally owned Tommy's Express Car Wash. Sign up in the app for the free first unlimited washing and make Tommy's Express Car Wash your clean routine with 2 locations in Fargo and 2 in Moorhead at Tommy's Express Car Wash. And sign up on the app and get your first month of unlimited washing. A football game that goes 2 hours and 24 minutes here tonight here in Castleton. The Squirrels 7 points in the first, 7 points in the second, 7 in the third, scoreless in the fourth. Devils Lake 13 in the second, 8 in the third, and 7 in quarter number 4 here tonight in this one for the Devils Lake Firebirds. As we take a look at some of our post-game outcome here, our player of the game brought to you in part by Enbridge. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Mason Palmer, kind of the 1A, the 1B in Exner a little bit here tonight, as well as the 2 of them would eventually combine. Mason Palmer with 224 yards through the air. Exner would finish with 96 yards of total offense, as the 2 tandem would combine for 320 total yards of offense here today for Devils Lake. Mason Palmer and Mr. Exner are our players of the game, brought to you in part by Enbridge. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Life takes energy. That again is Enbridge.com. From there to our Agassi Precision Egg play of the contest, the pick to seal it with Weston Nelson up the near sideline here. Nelson comes away with the pick. That is our play of the game here in this particular contest. Able to put the game away defensively here for the Devils Lake Firebirds, and in doing so, picking up the first win of the season here on the road for Devils Lake, as they will have their home opener now hosting hosting Wapaton. While the Central Cass Squirrels, they will make their way to Jamestown. Our play of the game, the interception, brought to you in part by Weston Nelson. That is with Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, Agassiz Precision Ag in Hillsboro. Visit planterdoc.com. That again is planterdoc.com. We'll continue with more after this, as we'll take a look at the final numbers when we return on our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show. Devils Lake 28, Central Cass 21, and then we'll hear from a victorious Devils Lake Firebird member here as well on your liveevent.com.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
At the Central Cass School District, excellence isn't just a goal, it's our mission by empowering individuals to make a positive impact. Central Cass School District is dedicated to providing students with an innovative curriculum supported by a variety of co-curricular activities from athletics and the arts to leadership and service, aiming to provide excellence between students, staff, family, and community. Central Cass School District, fostering student excellence by inspiring individuals to be their best.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
As we come back on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show, as we go over the final numbers here in this one tonight on your liveevent.com, the Devils Lake Firebirds have finished with 321 yards of total offense, 224 yards in the air with Mason Palmer, and they would have, again, 97 rushing yards on 36 attempts. While for the Central Cass Squirrels, they would finish with 343 yards of total offense, 93 yards on the ground, 24 attempts here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Here in this one, Kegley would throw for 250 yards. He threw the ball 42 times. And he would go 24 of 42 here tonight for 250 yards, a touchdown, and also from there would have 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions here for Kegley. Cruchet, 20 carries for 74 yards. Blix, 2 for 5, and Nowitzki, 2 for 14 with the rushing touchdown. Cotton, 8 catches for 50 yards, 6 for Wixo for 73. 2 receptions for Cruchet for 43 yards and a score. Holland, 3 for 21. Haug, 2 for 20. Lorenz, 2 for 18. Olson with a catch for 26 yards. The Squirrels would have 7 penalties for 57 yards here in this contest, and they would have 2 turnovers, while for the Devils Lake Firebirds, Mason Palmer here tonight went 18 of 27 for 224 yards. He would finish with 2 passing touchdowns and an interception here tonight. Exner with 20 carries for 66 yards and a rushing score. Heilman, 7 carries for 28 yards. Palmer, 6 for 0. Fee with 3 carries for 3 yards. Max Palmer, 5 receptions for 88 yards. You had Nelson, 3 for 29. Heilman, 4 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. Exner with 3 catches, 30 yards and a score. You had Drone Levitt with 2 receptions for 16 yards. And Encinas, 1 catch for 13 yards. 6 penalties and make that 25 yards here. You had 5 false starts and a kick out of bounds here for the Devils Lake Firebirds. Devils Lake would have a fumble and an interception for their 2 turnovers here tonight in this one. While the Central Cass Squirrels, 7 penalties for 57 yards and 2 turnovers here tonight for Central Cass. On our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show, let's take a look at some of the other finals across the state of North Dakota. here tonight in Double-A football. In games that have gone final, Watford City over Wahpeton 39-12. Minot North goes on the road and picks up a 28-7 win over the Fargo South Bruins. So the number one team more than likely will stay number one in the latest polls. But with that Kindred win over Horace, we'll see if that changes some things up. Grand Forks Central with a nice road win in Jamestown tonight, 39-7 for the Grand Forks Central Knights. Kindred defeats West Fargo Horace at Horace by a final of 34-32 for the second-rate team in Double-A football over 3A Horace. Red River defeats Bismarck St. Mary's in a nail-biter 14-13 in the capital city. Rough Riders win by 1 point over St. Mary's, and Dickinson over Williston 49-0 here this evening in Double-A football. Triple-A, all games pretty much have gone final as well. Legacy hangs on for a 1-point win over Bismarck Legacy. Bismarck Legacy with a 1-point win over West Fargo Horace, that is 28-27. Shanley picks up a road win at Mandan 27-9. Davies over Bismarck Century 34-3 for the Eagles. Bismarck over Fargo North 17-7, and Dickinson again gets by Williston 49-0. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll put a bow on this one next on our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show, as the teams are just finalizing a couple of things here for both the Devil's Lake point of view and also the Central Cass point of view. And we'll hear from Mr. Weston Nelson when we return, coming up around the corner, as Devil's Lake Firebirds pick up the win on the Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show 28-21 here on your liveevent.com.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop insurance.
Maybe toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or taupe insurance, maybe?
Nah, I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
As we come back on our post-game show, brought to you in part by Tommy's Express Car Wash, the guy who finished the game off with the pick, and Weston Nelson here joining us. Weston, let's just talk about it. You know, you obviously offense, you want to put the game away. Comes up just a half a yard short of that first down. Take us through what's kind of the message in the huddle when you get back on the field defensively with Central Cass having a chance to try to tie the game up, you know, going down the field.
Yeah, so we just believed in our guys. I mean, it all comes down to trusting each other, doing the right job, and we got her done.
Let's talk about that interception. What's kind of going through your mind when you see that ball fluttering through the air, so to speak, and trying to, you know, put the game on ice?
Yeah, so earlier I got burnt on that same play, and so I waited back and came right to me, I guess.
What was the difference from week 1 to week 2, do you think? Not the opponent, not anything else. Just what do you think was different from a Devil's Lake point of view to come out with the victory, be within one score, or have a lead throughout this particular game?
Oh, the intensity for sure. The last game we did not bring it. We brought it today, and it showed.
What's it like playing with a dude like Mason Palmer who can make backyard plays look pretty easy on the football field?
Oh, it's awesome. I love him as my quarterback.
As you get ready for now 3 games on the road, you don't have to worry about traveling on a bus for a little while. What's the one thing you hope to bring to the home crowd at Devil's Lake when you get Wahpeton coming in, you know, a week from tonight?
Keep bringing the energy. I think we brought it good tonight, but it's homecoming next week, so it's going to be a battle.
I got to ask you about one more guy, Exner. He brings his lunch pail to work. You know, he gets 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, just a battering kind of a running back. What's it like having someone like that in the backfield that when you get the ball, you know he's going to find a way to get positive yards, you know, in some capacity?
Oh, yeah. First and second downs, he does really great. I mean, we pass the ball a lot, but when we do run, he gets it done.
The senior with us here for the Devil's Lake Firebirds, Weston Nelson. We'll let him take the headsets off. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from the quarterback for the Firebirds coming up around the corner.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
As we continue on our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show here tonight, joining us, Mason Palmer picks up the win here for the Devils Lake Firebirds as we had him down for 224 yards passing, 18 of 27 here tonight with a couple of touchdowns as well. Mason, just what was different about your team to start off with? Obviously, the opening possession of the game, Central Cass takes it down the field, gets up 7-0. But what was the next three quarters like for this team to find a way to tie the ball game, get close at halftime, take a lead in the third quarter, and eventually play with that lead throughout the rest of the game?
Yeah, well, we can't get down on our bad plays. You know, you just got to forget about it and keep moving on. I think we did that really well tonight. We just kept building on our good plays, and it showed.
Let's talk about a couple of good plays. When Weston makes that interception, you kind of look at the clock, and you know you got to kill a little bit of time as a quarterback, but when you see him make that pick, what's it like for you?
There's a feeling of relief, like, oh, yes. Now we should go chew the clock out, and this game is ours.
Talk about a backyard play here. You're making your way down to the north end zone. The play breaks down. You roll from the far hash to the near hash, and you find Max on the sidelines. Just take us through that play. What's kind of going through your mind when you're going the opposite way, but you find a way to get a first down?
Yeah, so mainly I'm looking at my receiver right away, and I get flushed out right, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to get tackled. So I'm just run back. I see Max, and I just try to lead him out of bounds so it can't get intercepted. And he got it, and really nice catch, too.
Will Heilman, what was he like? I mean, kind of a Swiss Army knife. You can use him in a lot of different ways, receiving, rushing, obviously blocking. What's a dude like that like on the football field as a teammate?
He's gritty, man. He gets little bumps and bruises. He gets one, comes right back in. Wherever you need him, he gives 100% effort every time.
How sweet is this one, knowing that how close it was last year on this very field to come back with a 7-point win, get to 1-1 on the season, now have nearly a month at home, on the schedule coming up for the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's a great feeling, man. We just got to keep our energy up. We gotta keep playing our game, keep working hard in practice, and we'll get it done.
Hey, Mason, we'll let you go enjoy this one. Best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Mason Palmer here, starting QB for the Devils Lake Firebirds. We'll put a bow on our post-game show when we return.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
It does it on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. You heard from the Devils Lake Firebirds. Intensity was a little different this week in Week 2 compared to Week 1 against the Kinder Vikings, and that's what they hope to bring moving forward. Well, if you're the Central Cass Squirrels, you come up short here tonight, but it is a non-region game, and you look to build off of this moving forward, even in a loss. Learn something about the game, take a look at the tape, and then you got back-to-back road games before you come back and host the Huskies on September the 26th here at home. So the next 2 weeks for Central Cass at Jamestown, at Dickinson. Well, for the Devils Lake Firebirds, they will host their next 3 games, hosting Wahpeton, Fargo South, and the Jamestown Blue Jays. On behalf of Jacob Anderson, I'm Chase Miller. Thank you so much for tuning in to our broadcast here tonight, where the Devils Lake Firebirds improved to 1-1 on the season, with the third-ranked Central Cass Squirrels, they fall to 1-1 on the year as well. Until Monday and Tuesday for our next broadcast on R&J Broadcasting and alongside YourLiveEvent.com, I'm Chase Miller. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And that does it for our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show here tonight from Castleton.